Hi.
What's up, Fight Family? This is your favorite MMA coach, Thiago Alves, the Pitbull.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Pedro Munoz.
This is Mike Brown.
Guys, I am Olenik. And welcome.
And welcome. And welcome.
And welcome.
And this is We Want One Picks.
And you're watching We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks.
We Want Picks. To We Want Picks.
To We Want Picks. Hi, everybody from American Top Picks.
My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. It is fight day. We've got UFC 272. No title fights, but a ton of really cool matchups on awesome grudge match rounding out the night. It's not even the only grudge match on the card. Some people say the Moroz Agapova grudge match is just as fierce.
Except they shook hands at the weigh-ins, which was like a big disappointment for like a lot of people.
They were out for blood. So we are going to walk through the entire UFC 272 fight card. Jacob and I are going to give you our breakdown, our picks, but that doesn't matter because we are taking your picks from the live stream and we are going to build a full card parlay with those picks. And if the parlay hits, all of the money is going to go to members of this channel. So to become a member, you click the join button under the video. All the people in the comments with the crowns, they're members, and they will split this parlay. We have 14 fights, but this is one of the easier cards, right? We got a couple toss-up of mostly big-time favorites. Click the join button under the video. Typically, the full card parlay is $10. It's actually $20 this week because one of you signed up with one of our 5 betting partners, and you know my whole spiel. I'll give you $50 if you do. One of you signed up. I said, hey, how do you want your $50? And he said, don't give it to me. Do $10 a week for the next 5 weeks on your full card parlay. So now it's a $20 full card parlay, which is big time. So that $20, what that also allows us to do is we can leave some fights out. All right, if we're worried about some fights, we can leave some out and build a parlay that actually hits. Maybe it's 9, maybe it's 14. We'll figure this out together and we'll jump in. This is brought to you by BETU Play to Earn. BETU Play to Earn is the world's first sports and esports betting game. Check it out now at betuearn.com. That's bet, the letter U, earn.com. Jakey, how you feeling about these fights? What are you looking at? What's happening? What are you smiling at? Like, what's going on?
Oh, look how sweet she is. Aww.
Dogs are gross.
Oh, look at you. You just laying there so sweet.
Okay. So, and yep, our live viewer count just plummeted.
I could put just her on there, and we'd get like thousands of viewers. Watch my dog sleep. That probably would be a thing. It sounds like a TikTok thing, honestly. Watch my dog sleep, and it's just thousands of people watching a dog sleep.
TikTok lives are absolutely wild. They make no sense, dude. Like they're just There's this guy that he works at McDonald's. He's just making McDonald's food in the line. And he's got like 20,000 people watching at any given moment. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's jump in. The first fight of the card, which is kind of surprising and maybe it's because it's the first fight of the card, so it's going to be fireworks. But we've got Dustin Jacoby versus Mikhail Olenik. 2 good, solid kickboxers. Dustin Jacoby, 16-5 overall. He's 4-0-1 in his last 5. But he has not lost an MMA fight since 2015. And he's got this sneaky record that people are forgetting about. He's just here racking up wins, doing what he's supposed to do in the light heavyweight division. And people just like aren't noticing or caring. It's pretty interesting. He's fighting Mikhail Olenik, who's also a kickboxer. He's 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off a solid knockout, though, just a few months ago. We've broken down Dustin a bunch of times. I love him. He's a great, fun fighter to watch. He's a high-level kickboxer, and he does a really good job investing in the legs. So he'll light up your legs before coming up top to your head. He's really technically sound. He's got pretty good power. He's got solid volume. And, you know, you think you could just take him down and win there because he's such a good kickboxer. But in most fights that he's been taken down, he still comes out up top. He just did that to Darren Stewart, who took him down twice. And Dustin Jacoby still knocked him out. Mikhail Olenik, I can never say it without the hard.
And I think it's Mihal or they're in the weigh-ins and stuff.
Rogan said
it was like Mihal or something.
Rogan
Rogan also said a lot of things. Did you listen to that video clip I sent you?
Yeah, he butchered.
was butchered.
He couldn't do
It was awful.
Negumereanu and Nzechukwu.
Yeah, he goes Nikolai. There was like a 6-second pause, and then he was like, I can't remember what he said, but it was something wild.
It was, yeah, and I'm supposed to be bad with the names. He blew it. Anyway, Olenik, he's also a very good kickboxer, but he doesn't really have a ton of power, but he's stupid fast. He's got some power, but it's really the speed. If you look at his knockouts, it's because he's just so fast. He's a little undersized for this division, but he is awesome in the first round. He comes out hot, and he's dangerous on his feet. He does have some grappling holes, though. This is an interesting fight. The odds have Dustin as a pretty good-sized favorite here. I agree with that. I think Dustin's definitely going to win this fight. He should be the favorite. He's the more experienced striker. He actually has a solid professional kickboxing record as well as a well-rounded MMA guy. And I think the kicks early, I think he's going to light up McCall's legs. I think those kicks nice and early are going to help take the speed away from McCall, which is actually his most dangerous asset. So I like Dustin to win this fight, but it doesn't matter what I like. It's what you like. So guys, let us know in the comments who you think wins so we can add that person to our full card parlay. And if you want to cash in on the payout, click the join button on the video, become a member. Jacob, what are your thoughts while I catch up on the live stream or live chat?
Yeah, I agree. I think Dustin is a play here, but I'll be honest.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I forgot. I was going to say something about that.
Braden, you owe me money. What are you doing here?
He said I got your money today. My bad. That's the first comment.
Well, pay it. Super chat it right now. That's the easiest way to do it. Just super chat it right now. Everybody can see you pay.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
What's up, Nicholas?
Super chat the money. Well, Jacob. Sorry, Jacob.
No. I don't. If I saw that, I'd spend the next 2 hours just parading Braden. No pun intended. I don't know if that's a pun.
And you know what? People's lives are busy, and if he super chats the money right now, then we're good. No big deal. That happens. Ish. Same thing. I haven't heard from all week, and then yesterday he's like, "Hey, how do I pay you?" People are busy, but we're a full 7 days out from when you guys were attacking me in the live chat, taking bets, lost bets to me.
Well, and let's be honest too. The Alvarez fight, I think people are starting to realize that was an early stoppage. I mean, he was really starting to make his move. Armin had a medical suspension coming out of that fight, so I think that he was really about to take the turn there when the ref stepped in and stopped that fight. So let's get back to this. I think Dustin is the play. He is the better striker in this matchup, but I'll be honest, as the week goes on, I feel less and less what's the word I'm looking for? I almost said less and less good about Dustin, less confident about Dustin in this fight. I think it's because Dustin, when he really starts flowing, it's a lot of he starts putting his hands down. He'll kind of march forward with his chin just straight forward. And that's good when you're flowing and you're missing strikes, but he gets hit when he's doing that. And Michal, whatever his name is, if he hits you, it's going to be bad news. So Dustin is the play in this matchup, but as the week goes on, I was looking at putting together maybe a 6 or 7, 8 fight parlay. I'm staying away from this one in a parlay for Dustin. He should win, but I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, I think in the consensus, I haven't seen a single McCall in the voting here. So Dustin is definitely the first fighter in our full card parlay. What we're doing today, guys, we're doing the full card parlay. We're doing $20 because one of you, and I'll actually pull up his name, I'm forgetting his name, was kind enough to say, hey, instead of giving me my $50 betting bonus, apply it to the full card parlays for the next 5 of them. So we're going to double it to $50 or $20 instead of 10. So we don't need to force some of these fights. Let's actually try to hit one of these. So we'll start with Dustin, but you guys feel free to say, leave this fight out. And I'm just checking to see. We got all Dustin. Everybody's going Dustin. So let's go ahead. Start off our full card parlay.
And I agree with you too that it's weird that he's opening up the card because the guy's lost. He hasn't lost since somebody's put in the chat. 2016. Yeah, 15. Whatever it was. I mean, it's not like he hasn't fought. I think it's 6 or 7 wins in a row, 6 or 7 non-losses because I think there's a draw in there. But
yeah, that's why I said hasn't lost. Yeah, but fine with me. I love watching Dustin. You guys are picking Dustin, so anybody that's just hopping in, what we are doing is we are building a full card parlay with your picks from the live chat. So everybody hop in here. Let us know your picks in the live chat. We're building a full card parlay. I'm actually throwing $20 at it, and if it hits, all of the money, every penny of it, is going to the members of this YouTube channel. So make sure you click the join button under this video, become a member, qualify for this payout. We do this every single week. Qualify for this payout and others. We're throwing 20 bucks at it this week. That's going to be a solid payout. I know there's some giant favorites on this card, but that's still going to be a big payout once we get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fights.
And as the King member, unfortunately, I get 80% of those winnings, right? Is that what we determined? When this hits, 80% of it goes to me because I'm like the King member. So
I'm still waiting for Braden to pay up. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, is he still in here? Let's see. He
What's
probably
up,
just
Hype?
skedaddled.
Probably not. He did. Hey, listen, I give him credit. He came in here and said, I have your money.
I don't see him in here. I don't see him in here.
He came in and said, I have your money. So it's not like he could have just not come in. So,
What she said.
Okay. Somebody, you guys somebody's YouTube username is Jamie. Don't pull up that video. That's somebody's username. So when I got the alert on my phone that somebody commented, I'm like, what? And then I realized that's what it was. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on. Next up, this is an interesting one. You guys might want to leave this one out of the full card parlay, but it's your parlay, so we'll see what happens. We have Devontae Smith versus Ludovic Klein. This is at lightweight. Ludovic Klein's is a featherweight. This fight is at lightweight because Ludovic stepped up on short notice when Eric Gonzalez, I think, Eric, whatever the hell, dropped out. So we've got Devontae Smith. He's 11-3 overall. He's 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off a stoppage loss to Jamie Mullarkey, and he's fighting short notice Ludovic Klein, who's 17-4, 3-2 in his last 5, and he's coming off 2 disappointing losses in a row himself. This is a striker versus striker matchup. Devontae Smith has very real power. He's a solid striker. He's got solid head movement, good distance control. He picks his shots really well. It looks like he might be a little low volume, but he's not. He's literally just waiting for the perfect opportunities, and he's usually finding them. He's very accurate and pretty busy once he gets his hands going. As it sits now, he has 80% takedown defense. He hasn't really fought any wrestle-heavy guys, but we have seen him defend some solid takedowns, and we've seen Ludovic Klein shoot takedowns in his fights. And Ludovic is a phenomenal striker. He's smooth, he's fast, he's accurate. He's really big for his weight class, which is 145 pounds. He didn't look exceptionally large at the weigh-ins, but keep in mind he's going up a weight class.
Are you kidding me? He looked incredible.
He looked good,
like
but he
the
didn't look
ideal
bigger.
male body.
Okay, stay seated, please. But he didn't look any bigger than. It's not like he was towering over Devontae Smith.
No, I mean,
my
he's
point.
just absolutely jacked. Absolutely jacked. Someone even said it in the chat. Mr.
Yeah,
Savage.
he was jacked. Big. I'm talking just. Okay, he's a big 145 pounder for 155. He's normal size. Anyway, he's got great kicks. He was riding that 3-fight head kick knockout streak in 2020. And we talk about how good his striking is, which it is. But when he fought Mike Trezano, he was falling behind in those striking exchanges. Legit falling behind. So he started to lean on his wrestling, and it was surprisingly good. He went 4 for 7 in his takedowns against Mike Trezano, and that was supposed to be a kickboxing match. And this should be a really fun fight. 2 guys that just want to go out there and strike. They're willing to mix it up. Both of them are really talented, and both of them can grapple if they need to. It'll be interesting to see what Ludovic's cardio looks like. Again, he's up a weight class here because it's short notice, but he wasn't exactly a cardio machine with a full camp, so short notice may or may not be an issue for him. I think Devontae Smith has way more power. I think Ludovic is probably the cleaner striker. Devontae's chin is questionable, but we've seen Ludovic fall behind in the striking and have a little bit of trouble, and he has cardio issues, so if he starts to fall behind, looks to grapple like he did when he fought Mike Trezano, he can end up exhausted and knocked out. So, guys, I think Devontae Smith wins, but we are building a full card parlay with your picks. So let us know in the live chat if you want to add one of them to the parlay, and if so, who. If you guys think this is too risky and you don't want to do it because we need this parlay to hit, totally fine. Or if you want to do under rounds or something like that, that's totally fine as well. I see some of you saying under, but the round line is 1.5, not 2.5. So let me know while Jacob gives you his thoughts.
Right, and actually that 1.5 round line is what I played the over on because I think both these guys, as I mentioned in our breakdown on Tuesday, both these guys want to fight clean. They both want to fight at distance. They both want to have enough room to throw their kicks out there, the leg kicks, the head kicks. And I think this fight basically just comes down to who puts the other person on their back foot, who is able to dictate the pace in this fight. And I think that's going to be Devontae Smith. You've seen Klein, when he's faced with pressure before, he'll start to back up, and he doesn't like to be backed up, but that's what happens. He'll start to get backed up, and he doesn't like the pressure, and that's when he starts to fold. And I think Devontae Smith's going to be that guy in that matchup. And kind of like the last fight with Jacoby and Mikal, when you got strikers that are pretty similar, which I think these guys are pretty similar in their striking, I look at who gets hit more. And when I watch these two guys fight, I see Ludovit Klein getting hit a lot. He's very quick with his striking, but his defense, he doesn't have a lot of movement in his defense, and he gets hit a lot. And I think that's going to be the biggest part of this fight. I think it's going to take a while to feel each other out. That's why I put the 1.5. I could see Smith maybe get a knockout, in the late second round, maybe in the third, but I think this is a decision fight. And I'm going Devontae Smith. Even that last fight where he lost to Jamie Mullarkey, he was dominating that fight in the striking. Mullarkey hit that lower leg calf kick or whatever, and he was like, oh shit, his leg basically went numb, and then after that the fight completely changed, and Mullarkey was able to jump all over him because he's just a complete savage and one of the best fighters in the UFC. But Devontae Smith was on his way to win that fight, and then that happened. So I like Devontae Smith in this fight to kind of come back and reclaim that victory. How's everyone else feeling?
The chat is split 3 ways. We have people saying pass, people saying Ludovit, and people saying Smith. I think it's a pass, guys. I think it's a pass. Then we could always circle back. If we don't like the odds when we're done, we could always circle back to this and see where we ended up. So anybody hopping in, we're building a full card parlay. We're throwing $20 at it. We're using your picks from the live chat. If the live chat thinks it's a pass, I'll take a note here and we'll just come on back to it. But my pick is Smith. Your pick is Smith. The live chat seems pretty split with a bunch of Ludovit believers. Oh, here's a couple of late Smiths.
Smith all day. Smith all day.
2 Smith all.
Stiffy
One was yelling.
Smithy.
One was yelling though. Stiffy Smithy. That sounds dirty. Okay. I think we're gonna pass on this one. Let's move on to the next one. We could always circle back. We got time, guys. We got time. I think we have a pretty clear winner here. We've got Tim Elliott taking on Tagir Ulanbekov. Tim Elliott is 17-12. And that record always surprises me when I see it because I just feel like he's better than that. But he's 17-12. He's 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off the loss to Mateus Nikolai. Tagir Ulanbekov is 13-1. He's 5-0 in his last 5. He has not lost a fight since 2018. Tim Elliott is incredibly gritty. He's just a come-forward grinder. He has no problem just being dirty, throwing a million strikes, marching forward, taking hits, taking shots, and then trying to wrestle, trying to grapple, getting it to the ground. He will stay in your face the entire fight, even if he's on the wrong end of every single one of your strikes. You could just light that dude's face up and he will continue to come forward and try to make something happen. His striking is not technical, but it can be effective literally because of the volume and the pace that he sets. His best asset is definitely his grappling. He moves really well on the ground. He's got a ton of submissions from everywhere. The problem for him on the ground, though, is he will take chances. He will chase something that's not necessarily there, give up a dominant position, and then end up in a compromising position because he's just looking for something that isn't always there. Tagir Ulanbekov is a dominant come-forward wrestler. His striking is just okay, but his striking is just there to set up his fantastic chain wrestling. He does have a pretty nice jab. Right behind that jab is a takedown attempt. Another shot, another shot, another shot. And he has 2 wins in the UFC, and both were with a ton of takedowns. 4 takedowns against Nascimento, 5 against Bruno Silva. And this entire card is loaded with big-time heavy favorites. The whole card. And I totally get why Tagir's a favorite here. I'm good with this line. When we get to Umar, that line is insane. I do like this line. I think minus 255 is great money for a guy that's going to shoot a million takedowns. Probably get them. Obviously, Tim Elliott's dangerous on the ground, but I don't think he's dangerous enough to submit Tagir Ulanbekov. You know, I earlier in the week, I was less confident in Tagir, where I thought he should be closer in the odds. But as the week goes on, as I just watch more and more Tim Elliott stuff, I'm just almost positive that Tagir's going to come in here, just absolutely dominate the fight. I don't know if he's going to stop him, but I think he dominates the fight. So that's my pick. But the only pick that matters is yours from the live chat. So let us know who you think wins this fight. We will add that person to our full card parlay. And if the parlay hits, every penny of it goes to the members of this channel. So click the join button under the video, become a member. And to qualify, Jakey boy, what are your thoughts while I take a look at the live chat?
You're going to be surprised when you see that live chat, because there's like a lot of Elliots in the chat. A lot of dogs, Elliott dogs. And I'll be honest with you, as the week goes along, I'm kind of the opposite as you. The more I watch Tagir and Tim Elliott, Tagir is just, I know he's like at this chain wrestler, but he's not like a dominant wrestler to where he's just like controlling every position all the time. And I'll be honest, Tagir's obviously the pick, right? He's the favorite. He should win. But I'm with the chat that some of these guys are picking Tim Elliott, and I don't blame. This seems like one of those weird fights that Tim Elliott could just find a way to just beat the shit out of Tagir, withstand like the first couple takedowns, maybe win a scramble, and then just start throwing elbows wild or something like that. My pick is going to be Tagir, but everyone that's picking Tim Elliott as kind of a flyer, I don't think I would be confident picking Tim Elliott, right? I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, Tim Elliott's definitely going to win this fight. But as a flyer, he's one of those weird guys that could just withstand some of this grappling and still be around in the third round, and who knows what happens after that. So my pick is Tagir. I think the parlay pick should probably be Tagir, but Tim Elliott as a flyer, little half unit, this and that. I don't blame you if you throw that.
Yeah, the chat is pretty split. It's hard to keep track. We got to find a better system. But the chat is pretty split.
I mean, you had polls.
No, the late. Here's the late Tagirs. Tagir. Yeah, Tagir's late Tagir. So a late run for Tagir. Let me read off the odds. The weakest link makes the strongest chains. What the fuck? Okay, let's take a look. We skipped Ludovic Klein and Devontae Smith. So the Tagir line is minus 225. Over 2.5 is minus 185. Do you guys prefer to go straight Tagir or over 2.5 rounds? Which one makes more sense? I'll let the chat catch up. And we're doing a $20 bet. This is a parlay. We're doing $20 because one of you, as you all know, if you go to WeWantPicks.com/bets, you sign up with any one of our betting partners, I will send you $50 as a thank you. One of you said, hey, don't give me the $50. Just take that $50, add that to all of the full card parlays.
I thought you were going to look up his name.
5. I'm running a freaking show here. I will look up his name. It was the problem is it was through Discord.
Didn't need the language. A little F-bomb there. Jesus.
Did I curse?
Yeah, you said the F-bomb.
Oh, I curse so much in real life. It's hard to remember. Okay, looks like everybody's just saying Tagir.
You said freaking.
Oh,
but it is funny that you didn't realize that you didn't say it.
Okay.
Whoops.
So here, you guys, just so you know, I build it in my bookie, so you can see me build it, but I actually place it with BetUS. The reason I don't build this on BetUS is because with BetUS, as you're building it, if you don't place it within like a minute, it expires. So then it's a mess. So we're here filming this for 2 full hours and it just gets sloppy, where my bookie lets me just build this, do it on the live stream, and then as soon as we end the live stream, I hop over to BetUS, I place the bet, I screenshot it, and I upload it for you guys. So we're building a full card parlay. We're using your picks from the live chat, and all of the money, every penny of that money goes to the members of the channel. Click the join button under this video to become a member and let us know in the live chat what you think. Right now, we're doing 2 fights. We skipped Ludovic Klein versus Devontae Smith because the live chat said that's too risky, so we skipped that fight. So right now we have Dustin Jacoby money line, Tagir Ulanbekov money line, and we're basically at even money. We're at plus 118 odds. Let's move back to the breakdown. And we've got the biggest favorite on the entire card. These odds are already wrong. He is now a minus 840 favorite. So we've got Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Brian Kelleher. Umar Nurmagomedov is 13-0 overall. He's obviously 5-0 in his last 5. And he's coming off a submission win. It was about a year ago, and that was his UFC debut. He's fighting Brian Kelleher, 24-12 overall. And he is coming off a short notice replacement win. So Kevin Kroom stepped up on short notice. Brian Kelleher beat him, and that was about a month ago. This fight is actually at featherweight. And I don't know if everybody knew that, but the UFC website, Tapology, everybody had this fight listed at bantamweight at 135 pounds. Then they weighed in at 145. So I don't know if that was always the case and everybody was just misinformed, or if there was an issue in the last week or two where they bumped it up a weight class because one of them asked for that. So if you know the answer to that, let us know in the live chat, because that should definitely affect things if one of them needed an extra 10 pounds because the weight cut wasn't going well. But I just think everybody was completely misinformed because they're both 135 pounders. So I think everybody was just misinformed, and for whatever reason, this is at 145 pounds. So Umar Nurmagomedov,
I think that's Umar's new weight class now. I think he's going to move up, but I'm not sure.
Well,
they mentioned that at the
everybody
weigh-ins.
had it
They said
listed
something
wrong.
about. Yeah, they said something about. It's 145 now, or is it 135?
This fight is at 145 pounds.
Right, because when he weighed in, I think they mentioned something like Umar's moved to a new weight class or something. Because he looked like a guy that not just needed the extra. He looked like a guy that was like a full 145er now, like that. Like that's a full time change because he still looks huge.
Yeah, and everything my graphic says bantamweight, but that's because I made these. I make these a week in advance, and I didn't know they were featherweight until weigh-ins. What the hell are you writing? What a turd. Anyway, Umar Nurmagomedov, he's exactly you're like obviously writing something in marker to hold up to the camera to be funny. Oh my God, you're eating a snack pack like a 7-year-old?
It's yogurt. What are you talking about? I mean, you're 0 for 2 in the
Let me
last
see.
two
Let me see.
accusations.
What flavor yogurt? What flavor?
Peach. And it tastes like chalk too.
It helps your
Let it help her.
tum-tum. Umar Nurmagomedov, that's what people want to hear, you mashing yogurt. Umar Nurmagomedov is please, I swear to God. Umar Nurmagomedov fights exactly like a Nurmagomedov, just non-stop, constant chain wrestling. And he only has one fight in the UFC, but the stats from that fight are absolutely insane. He had 5 takedowns in less than 2 full rounds, and it was just complete domination. His striking is just okay, but his wrestling is fantastic. He does use kicks really well to sort of stay out of striking range, and then when he's ready to shoot, he takes shots. If he misses the first shot, he'll take a second, third, fourth, etc., because his chain wrestling is absolutely fantastic. Brian Kelleher, he's got a ton of experience, and the UFC seems to be using him as a measuring stick for how good prospects may or may not be, because Brian Kelleher continues to get sort of these young, tough prospects. And if he wins, great. If he loses, that's fine with them too, because now they know how good they actually are. He is incredibly well-rounded. He's got clean boxing, decent power, very good grappling, and he sets a solid pace. He's really fun to watch, and he's always looking for a finish. He is also one of these guys that bounces between 135 and 145. He likes to be a bully in his fights and sort of impose his will, use his physicality. So he has more success at 35 than he does at 45, because obviously he's not as big up at 45. The betting line here just continues to plummet. I originally did this graphic last Saturday. Then I redid it on Tuesday because the odds changed, and now they've gone even farther. One of you said Umar's a minus 1,000 in DraftKings. I see him as a minus 880 on my bookie. So those odds are absolutely insane. I think it's a pretty straightforward fight. I think Umar just absolutely wrestles the crap out of Brian Kelleher and gets this done. But he can be hittable because, yes, that kick is nice, but he throws it out lazy sometimes. He just puts that kick out there, nothing in front of it, nothing behind it, and that can make him hittable, especially against a seasoned veteran like Brian Kelleher. So I do think Umar wins, but if he throws a lazy kick and gets blasted in the mouth, it wouldn't be the most shocking thing. I think that's actually the only way he could possibly lose this fight. Jacob, what do you think? make sure you guys vote in the live chat because we're building a full card parlay with your pick. I imagine everybody's going to say Umar. But what are your thoughts, Jakey boy?
Yeah, the pick is Umar, but I think that there's a different way that Brian can win, and I put a bet on him because Mr. Guillotine on those shots, it's going to be guillotine or bust. If you're Brian Kelleher, you got to just try to, every time the Umar shoots, you got to just jump on his neck and just pray that you can lock it in because he has a very, I don't know how many wins he has by guillotine, but it's like a million of them. So I put a 0.25 unit bet on Kelleher by submission at plus 1,400. You know the shots are coming. You know he's got a guillotine, so plus 1,400, a quarter unit. What are you going to do? So, but Umar's going to win the fight. But that's just how I played it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty straightforward win. I disagree with the guillotine. I don't think Kelleher's going to... If Kelleher wins, I think he just cracks Umar on his feet. Umar's, he's a year off, takes a bad shot, maybe gets cracked. Brian Kelleher can bang, but,
both of them are plus 1,400.
He's barely
KO
beating Kevin.
submission.
He's barely beating Kevin Kroom. There's no way he's smoking Umar Nurmagomedov. There's just no way. Let's see. Yeah, everybody seems to be on
Crazier things have
Umar.
happened.
The easiest thing to see coming. Good luck today, fellas. Thanks, Peter. Where'd our boy Braden go? Came in here, said, "Hey, Angelo, sorry I owe you money."
He probably went to the bank before it closed. Banks closed early on Saturdays, I think. He had to go transfer some money around, sell some crypto.
All right, so it looks like Umar. We're building a full card parlay with your picks. Let's add Umar. This is not going to move the odds. Right now it's at plus 118. We add Umar plus 140.
Plus 120.
No, plus 144. That's actually was decent movement there. So we're throwing $20 at a full card parlay. It's my 20. It's not yours. It's my money. I'm throwing it on here, and if it hits, 100% of the money goes to the members of this channel. So become a member. Click the join button under this video to become a member. It does a few things. One, it qualifies you for all of our payouts. We do constantly doing giveaways. I'm just handing $50 out left and right. Two, it supports us. We put in a lot of time and effort. It's incredibly supportive. Three, you get a nice little crown in the comments. You get to use emojis, and you get sort of preferential treatment across the board. So become a member. You'll qualify for this payout. And if you don't want to become a member, join the live chat. Let us know your thoughts. And yes, John Doe, we are doing $20 instead of $10. We do this every single week. I'm looking up the name right now. We're doing $20 instead of $10 because, as you guys know, if you go to wewantpicks.com/bets and you sign up with any one of our betting partners, I give you $50 as a thank you, right? That offer stands for everybody watching this video. wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up with one of the betting partners, make a deposit, let me know. I send you $50. This person, here it is, Z Tark.
Ooh, almost a little F word there.
Z Tark is the username. I owed him $50. He said, "Hey, I signed up for Bet Online." And I said, "Great, I validated your deposit. How do you want your $50? And he said, "I thought of something else that could be fun. If it's all right with you, instead of sending me $50 for the month of March, can you make the membership parlays 20 instead of 10? It'd save you a couple of bucks plus gift members a little something extra." So I'm not going to save any money because I'm just going to do $20 for all $50. So thank you to Z Tark. Everybody watching, you now qualify for an even bigger payout. So right now, our full card parlay that we're building with your picks, not ours, is Dustin Jacoby, Tagir Ulanbekov.
But if you want to win, you'll do my picks. So they can do their own thing, but if they want to win, they'll do my picks. So
and Umar Nurmagomedov. The one fight we did not put in here that we've covered so far is Ludovic Klein and Devontae Smith. The live chat. There he is, Z Tark. Thank you very much. It's very appreciated. I'm sure everybody appreciates it. If this hits, they're definitely going to appreciate it.
I'll appreciate it. I'm a member, so.
There you go. The one fight we did not add is Tagir and Devontae because Tagir, what the hell am I saying? Is Ludovic Klein and Devontae because you guys didn't want to add that. It was a little too risky. So let's continue moving on. Jacob, you saw Casey's coming over to watch the fights tonight? You still afraid of my daughter who might have the sniffles?
I saw that text. You guys will have a lot of fun.
So you're really not coming?
No, I'm not coming.
You're so soft.
Your
So
house is
basically-
infected.
My 3-year-old daughter tested positive for the flu, but the kid's 100% fine. Other people are coming over to watch the fights, but
back up.
But Jacob's
tested
not.
positive for the flu. Okay. And
Yesterday.
Angela wants to bring me inside of that home. Here's some flu. Have some wings and some flu.
There's bigger, stronger men than you that are not
Have
afraid
some
of a
wings and
3-year-old.
some flu.
First of all, you should not ever be close enough to my daughter to even catch the flu if she has.
Have
okay,
some wings in my.
That's right, and the wings are going to be banging. All right, let's see. Hey, Ethan, there's a join button under this video to become a member. If you don't see the join button under the video, go into the description of the video, and in there it'll say support this channel, and it says become a member, and it's right there. So become a member. There'll be a big flashy thing on the screen, and we'll all appreciate it. Let's break down the next fight. We have some real Russia versus Ukraine drama in this fight. We have
She's not from Russia.
Maria Agapova is Russian, though. It's not from Russia.
She reps
She's Russian.
Kazakhstan.
She's Russian. She's Russian. For Christ's sake. Marina Moroz versus Maria Agapova. Marina Moroz, 10-3 overall, 3-2 in her last
From
5.
Kazakhstan. Just like I said.
Okay, why don't you pull up a map?
Nationality,
and let me know
Kazakh.
where that is. Let me know where that is in a map.
It's not right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. This is going to be a fun Google for you. Marina Moroz is 3-2
Country in Central Asia.
And okay.
It's its own country. I mean, it's not I don't know what you're trying to say. It's not Russia.
Okay. She's Russian. She identifies as Russian. Her colored shorts will be
She has a flag, a Kazakhstan flag that she comes out with, not a Russian flag.
Okay.
Yeah, all the flag on everything is Kazakhstan. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I'm Googling Maria Agapova, Russia. Here we go. She is Russian. That's all it says on Wikipedia. That's the only thing it says.
Yeah.
So, Marina Moroz,
What a
10-3
disaster.
overall.
Everyone
You know,
just turn the stream off. I don't blame
Robert
you.
figured out who you are as a person. There he is. Jacob is the purple bounty toilet paper. That's who Jacob is. Anyway, Marina Moroz.
2-ply?
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Marina Moroz, 10-3 overall, 3-2 in her last 5, but she has not fought in 2 full years. She's been matched up quite a few times, and none of those came to fruition. Maria Agapova is 10-2 overall. She is 4-1 in her last 5. She's coming off a submission over Sabina Mazo. Marina Moroz is a striker with a ton of volume. She mixes in her strikes really well. She's got nice movement on her feet. She does avoid the pocket because if she does end up in the pocket, she can be hittable, and that can be a problem. She's coming off a really nice win over Myra Bueno Silva, where she added some grappling to her game. She had 2 takedowns in that fight and almost 5 full minutes of control time. Maria Agapova, she's got a really fun come-forward striking style. She's got high volume, tons of pressure. She throws caution to the wind in a lot of those exchanges. Once she settles in and she stops chasing first-round stoppages, she has solid boxing, pretty clean combinations. She has some actual power, and she's pretty good on the ground, but her takedowns are just okay at best. The biggest gap between these two is actually the wrestling, which is interesting because Agapova has a much higher takedown accuracy, but neither one of them even has 50% takedown defense. They're both strikers. They both come forward, but this might actually come down to the grappling. So it will be interesting. I personally think Moroz wins this fight. I think Moroz is the better striker. I think Moroz is the more disciplined fighter. There's been all sorts of rumors, which I'm not going to repeat, about Maria Agapova and, what she does in her extracurricular activities. And, all of those rumors sort of point back to she's not necessarily as dedicated to this sport as she needs to be. So I personally think Marina Moroz wins, not because of any disparaging Agapova stuff, but mostly I think she's got the good, clean, better striking. I think she's more technically sound, and I think, she's just got the grit, the determination, come forward pressure. So I like Marina Moroz to win this fight. Jacob, what are your thoughts while we catch up in the live stream, live chat, and make sure you put your pick in the live chat because we're taking those and we are building a full card parlay with your picks, not mine and not Jacob's.
Yeah, I'll tell you that Marina Moroz, she was my lock of the week, and I felt good about it. After watching her all week in the weigh-ins, at the face-offs, she looks like she wants to take on all of Russia her goddamn self. I mean, that's the vibe that she gets off. Like, there's no smiling. It's just stone face, and when you look into her eyes, it is the most terrifying look I've ever seen in my life. If she can harness that energy, because there's going to be a lot of energy. When she comes out, she's going to come out with the Ukrainian flag. The crowd's going to go crazy. They went crazy at weigh-ins when she had it. If she can harness that energy.
Julio Saravia became a member. Good luck, Julio. We hope this pays out, and you'll get a giant piece of this pie. Thank you very much. And Jacob, while I was Agapova fought her early and MMA career exclusively in Russia and Kazakhstan. Okay.
Russia, China, and Kazakhstan. Yeah.
Oh,
so that makes her Russia. So if you fight somewhere, yeah. No, I still have it up. Trust me.
Okay.
But yeah, if she's able to, because sometimes that energy can be good and sometimes that can be bad, right? Sometimes you have the energy, you have an adrenaline dump, you do some things that you don't normally do because you're like so excited to go and you just want to run through this girl. Because this is another one we talked about. They have beef. They shook hands at the weigh-ins, but supposedly they hate each other. Both former ATT people, just like Jorge and Colby, they want to go down each other's throats. Moroz is going to come in with all the support. The crowd's going to go crazy. Her adrenaline's going to be going crazy. If she can harness that into her abilities, because I think she is the more technical fighter in this matchup, I think that she can just run through Agapova and maybe in this first round, but she's got to harness it in the right way, because if she starts getting wild with Agapova, Moroz is good because she's technical, right? She was on the Ukrainian boxing team. Everything she does is very technical. Even her takedowns, her ground game, everything is very technical. Agapova is the one that can get wild and can have success being wild. Moroz cannot have success being wild. So she's got to harness that energy in the right way. And if she does, this is going to be a fun fight. Because if she wins, and if she wins in the way that I think she's going to win, that place is going to go nuts, and she's going to go nuts. And her on the mic is going to be crazy, because she's going to give Vladimir Putin an earful. So I'm rooting for her. She's my lock of the week. I got 2 lock of the weeks this week, but Moroz is my lock of the week. I honestly think that she's just a better, more well-rounded fighter. So I like her in this matchup.
Yeah, and while
everyone
you were
that
doing
says
that,
Agapova, I've already banned like 9 people. If you say Agapova, you're banned.
And I did my research, and so did Bud Becker. Kazakhstan was part of Russia till 1990. She's Russian. She was born after 1990. She's a Russian. That's a Russian. You're looking at a Russian.
That's why she comes out with the Russian flag, right?
Yes.
She even has the, what's the other Kazakhstan guy that they have their own hat too? She comes out with that hat as well. I
have no idea.
There's like, what's his name? I can picture him. He just fought a few weeks ago. But anyway.
Okay. I haven't seen a lot of picks. I've been seeing some OnlyFans chat, some Moroz. I haven't seen a ton of actual voting here. What do we got here? Looks like Moroz, Agapova. Is it split? Is somebody keeping tally? Moroz is trash. Agapova. Somebody said skip it.
Moroz is trash? Whoa. There was a Moroz is trash? Who is that?
It's Shavcat. There you go. There's your answer. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Tones. Anyway, we're building a full card parlay. If it hits, all of the money goes to the members of this channel. So this is your parlay. If you guys don't want to add one of these fighters to the parlay, we don't have to. All right? If we have a 9-fight parlay that hits instead of a 14 that misses by 2 fights, it's entirely up to you guys. So would you guys prefer that we skip this fight in the parlay, or do you want to leave it and go from there? We'll give it a chance. What would you do, Jacob, if this was your parlay?
Moroz is already in one of my parlays, so I'm going Moroz 100%. She's a lock. I put her as my lock of the week, so she's a lock. I've never lost a lock of the week.
Okay. I can't hear. Okay. There we go. All right, let's skip. A lot of people are saying skip. We're going to skip this one, but for the sake of where we are, the full card parlay right now, we've skipped 2 fights. So we're 5 fights in. There's only 3 in the full card parlay. We've got Dustin Jacoby, Tagir Ulanbekov, and Umar Nurmagomedov. We've skipped 2 fights, but we still have 9 more to go. And let's pick up the pace here. We've got Nick Negumereanu, and he's taking on Kennedy Nzechukwu. Nick Negumereanu is 11-1 overall. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He's taking on Kennedy Nzechukwu, who's 9-2 overall. 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off a loss to Da Un Jung, where he was blasted with some incredible elbows. Negumereanu, he had a successful run after a 2-year layoff. That one loss in his career. He took 2 years off after that. He came back and he's looked pretty good since then. He had his first decision win ever against Kelleher, and he's coming off a stoppage win after that. He's got bad intentions with every single strike that he throws. He pressures forward. He mostly throws looping shots and just stands in front of you. He relies on his chin. But he does have power. He does have a backup plan. If that's not going his way, he can work in some takedowns, and he can try to slam you to the ground, muscle you to the ground, and work from there. His takedowns are not clean, but they can be effective, and he's super tough. He can make it happen. Nzechukwu, I've called him the comeback kid. He's been on the wrong side of multiple fights and then pulled him off the last second. He was getting absolute beat on by Carlos Ulberg, and he pulled that knockout off late. He was getting beat on by Danilo Marquez, who isn't even with the UFC anymore. He pulled that off late. And then Da Un Jung actually did just beat on him. But he's a good kickboxer. He's got a ton of power in his hands. His takedown defense is at 80%, but he never really fought anybody that was trying to take him down constantly. But he is gun shy. My personal pick, I love Negumereanu here. I have a money line bet on him in the underdog spot because we've seen Nzechukwu lose in every aspect of MMA. We've seen him get completely outstruck when he fought Ulberg. We saw him get completely out-grappled when he fought Danilo Marquez. And we just watched Da Un Jung knock him out. So I think Negumereanu is just grit, toughness, come forward, power in his hands. All of those things. I like Nick to win here. I'm surprised he's not the favorite. I've got a money line bet on him. You guys let me know who you want to add to the full card parlay. Anybody who's just hopping in, we've got about 150 people here. We're building a full card parlay. I'm throwing $20 at it of my money. And all of the money, if this parlay hits, is going to the members of this channel. So click the join button under this video to become a member. And if it hits, you get paid out. We're being a little more cautious than usual where we're skipping some fights. So I have a very good feeling that it'll hit this week. Even if we end up with a 9-fight parlay instead of a 14, well, we'll get a couple $1,000 payout. So we should have something good here. Jakey boy, what are your thoughts as I catch up on the live chat?
Yeah, I think I agree. When I looked at this fight, I saw Nick, and I thought that he was going to be in the favor of this fight. Honestly, on the card, I think that this is the biggest question mark of who the hell is going to win this fight, because Nick has a path to victory, obviously. But it really depends on what Kennedy shows up, because if an aggressive Kennedy shows up, he could really out-volume and really go all over Nick early, and this fight could be over early. But if he just kind of stays back the way he has, Nick could come forward with the punches, get a takedown, and then it's kind of over from there. The only thing I know about this fight is I don't see this going to the distance at all. I don't know what the odds are now, but I put 3 units on. I think it was minus 175, something that does not go the distance. Let's see if I can check it now to see what they were, but I don't see this fight going the distance at all. My pick is Nick, but it's really a toss. It just depends on what kind of Kennedy shows up to this fight. But I don't think either way that it's going to distance. One of these guys is going to finish one. So the odds actually moved to minus 205. So I got does not go the distance at minus 175. They've moved all the way to minus 205. I think they should be 215, 220, honestly. Maybe even a 250. So that's how I'm playing this fight. My pick is Nick because I think he's going to be able to get the fight to the ground. He can win on the ground. But if this stays standing, this is anybody's fight. And that's kind of why the odds are the way they are, I think.
Yeah, so real quick, is this a different Braden? Did he just come in here and create a new username because he owes me money?
That is kind of funny.
Is that what this is? Laputa, why did you, what happened? Oh, no. Here we go. What happened at the weigh-ins that you switched from Negumereanu to Nzechukwu? What happened? And a few of
Kennedy's
you...
just a monster. He's huge.
A few... This is just like last week. A few people, the vocal minority on McCall Olenik, are just, he's going to dominate Dustin. You guys are idiots for picking Dustin. We can't switch, but AO22, I'll bet you straight up. I've got Dustin. You got McCall. I will bet you straight up cash money. $50, $100, whatever you want. Biker Boys, you become a member. There should be a join button under this video. And if you don't see that, just open the description to this video. You'll see just right there in our description, support the channel. Become a member is one of the options. Click on that, become a member, and then you qualify for this payout, our DraftKings payout, and everything else that we do, because I love giving money away to encourage people.
Sorry,
What
I
happened?
laughed at Bud's comment. I imagine Braden has the mustache glide. Oh, these. I actually have them here. Hold on. Hold on.
So anybody who is just hopping on and doesn't know what's going on here, last week I said that Amar would what's his name, would dominate Joel Alvarez and just smoke him 99 out of 100 times. The live chat went nuts, called me names, was very rude. And I said, I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll bet you. I ended up betting $400 against the people in the live chat. Guess how many paid me? One. The rest of those clowns never came back or said, oops, my bad, I owe you money, and then disappeared. So I have a video that Parker Porter made for me. Parker Porter's a good friend of mine. We're both from Connecticut. I know him really well. Parker Porter made a video straightening those people out. So,
These don't, they're breaking, but here you go. There's Braden.
yeah, that's how Braden's dressed right now.
I got him.
Jester, we had like 50 members before, so I know we somewhere around 50. Okay. Did we end up with a pick in this fight? Are we skipping this fight, or do we have a pick for the full card parlay?
Are you asking me?
What do we got here? No, I mean, somebody keep
I got
track.
more important things.
Okay.
Get these
All
glasses
right.
to work.
Let me, guys, just vote again very quickly in the full card parlay who you want. Let's go ahead, walk through what we got so far. I think it was, let's see, Negumereanu. Why would so Jeffrey? I literally just said Parker Porter's my friend in real life, and then you have to write something like this. Like, why? That's ridiculous. Hey, that's my friend.
I gave him a little time. I gave him a little
That
time
guy
out there.
sucks.
I gave him a little time out there. You got to think about your decisions, Jeffrey.
All right, Nick. We got Nick. Kennedy. Nick. All right, Nick Negumereanu it is. Nick Negumereanu.
I think we should play does not go decision. That's how I'd play
All
it.
right. Let's see. That might not even be an option. That's not an option. Sorry. That's not an option. Wait.
You're really
hell is
struggling
this?
here. Really struggling here. This is embarrassing.
This just
I'll be
says
honest with you.
problems.
I'll be honest with you. I in this moment, I've never been so embarrassed for our channel.
Okay.
I mean, how many viewers we have in here? I mean, this is like.
All
it
right,
was
Nick
150.
Negumereanu. Nick Negumereanu has been added. That takes our odds to plus 400, and we only have 4 fights in here. We've only got 4 fights. We are at plus 400. Let's go ahead and move this along. That takes us to Marina Rodriguez versus Jan Janan. Let us know in the comments who you think wins this fight, and we will add them to our full card parlay. Anybody just hopping in, we are building a full card parlay with your pick from the live chat. We got Marina Rodriguez, 15-1 overall, 3-1-1. She's coming off a great win over Mackenzie Dern, fighting Jan Janan, who's 13-2. And she's coming off a long layoff after losing to Carla Esparza about a year ago, where she was just taken down and pounded out. Marina Rodriguez, I think she's the real deal. She's a good boxer. She's got solid speed, solid power. And if you want to see that power, she just flatlined Amanda Hebas. Her takedown defense is solid. I know I trash Mackenzie Dern for her takedowns and her striking.
Can I just interrupt for a second, because she
No,
did not
Amanda Hebas
flatline.
got
She did not flatline. Amanda got back to her feet and almost got a takedown, and then the ref like stopped the fight. It was like kind of she was like
didn't
kind of
even know
knocked
what
down.
week
She got
it
back
was.
to her feet, almost got another takedown, then fell down a little bit. Another early stoppage for Amanda.
Okay. The blood's flowing in the wrong direction, my man. She defended a bunch of takedowns against. She defended 7 out of 8 Mackenzie Dern's takedowns. But she does have losses to Carla Esparza and Cynthia Calvillo, where she was taken down and was controlled. Marina is a complete fighter. She can ground you out she can knock you out, or she can submit you. And she's fighting Yan Xiaonan. Yan's a very good boxer. She's got well-timed strikes, good clean technique, but she doesn't shy away from a dirty fight either, and she's willing to bang. Outside of that loss to Carla Esparza, where she was just taken down, controlled, and stopped from there, she has had a dominant run in the UFC. She beat Claudia Gadeja, Carolina Kovacevic, and Angela Hill. She is primarily a striker, but we saw her use her wrestling. She had 5 takedowns against Carolina Kovacevic. She may come in here with the same type game plan and say, listen, Marina's a good striker. I'm going to out-grapple Marina Rodriguez and try to get that going. I personally like Marina Rodriguez to win, but I have a plus 3.5 bet on Yan Xiaonan. And if you don't... What's that stupid face? What? Okay.
Go ahead.
If you don't know what that is...
Finish the nonsense. Go ahead.
If you don't know what that is, I basically bought a round on the judges' scorecard. So all Yan has to do is win one single round. If she comes out with a wrestle-heavy game plan, gets a few takedowns, wins one round, I'll get paid. I hit that bet. She can lose the fight. But if she wins a round, I bought another round on the judges' scorecard. So if she loses 29-28, in real life, I still get paid from the book. You're only going to get that from Bet Online. Go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Jump in the Bet Online, make a deposit. Let me know after you do. I'll give you $50 as a thank you. But they offer that bet. So I like Marina to win. It's not what I want. It's what you guys want. Let us know in the live chat who you think wins while Jacob gives us his thoughts.
Yeah, this is honestly, if this stays striking, I think that this could be one of the fight of the years, if not one of the best women fight of all times. And I know I'm propping it up. I said it on our Tuesday breakdown. I think this is going to be the fight of the night for the card. If it stays standing, both these girls can just strike so well, and they're both very, very good at striking and taking punches and slipping punches, and they're both tough as hell. They both got power. I think Marina's got the power advantage, but it's funny that you place that 3.5 bet on Yan, because I was looking at maybe a minus 3.5 bet on Marina, because I feel
you think it's
better
just a
and better.
Unanimous decision win? Doesn't
I think
give
if this
up any rounds.
And so this is what I'm worried about, is if Yan comes in with the pressure, right? If she kind of comes in and just wants to strike with Marina, I think Marina completely dominates the fight. I think she's got the length, she's got the power. It's gonna visually look like she's landing the harder punches, and the judges will give her every single round. I don't know if she's gonna be able to finish Yan. But I'm worried about Yan coming in and not worried about the power and just in and out volume. Boom, 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 boom. And Marina kind of throws her off. And that's so I can see this both ways. I'm kind of leaning towards, Marina having the power advantage, being able to look like she's winning every single round and can win every single round to play that 3.5. But I don't blame you for that plus 3.5 either for Yan, because she's going to be there. She'll be in the pocket. She will win a few exchanges, and that could steal her around with the judges. So I've been a lot higher on Marina as the week goes on. I put another favorites parlay. I think I tweeted about it with Marina in it. I think that she definitely wins this fight, but I just don't know if I'm I want to play that minus 3.5. I just don't know. It's the odds are you move her from a minus 256 favorite to a minus 105 with that minus 3.5, and that's one of the reasons I want to play it, because I think if this is a striking match, she should dominate, honestly. But I don't know. How does everyone else feel about that minus 3.5? I see a lot of Yan, so obviously they don't like it too much.
No, there are some Yans in here, but Marina's definitely the pick from the live chat. It's not even close. But there are some Yans in here. Somebody said, Mike, you said over 1.5. That's going to be atrocious, because over 2.5 is minus 255. So over 1.5 is going to be brutal. It looks like Marina's the pick, so we'll add Marina. My only issue with the minus 3.5, I think it's a lot easier to steal a round than it is to lose a round. You get what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
I think Yan can literally just win one single. All she needs to do, one round. That's it. And that's not that hard to do. I mean, this should be the over on rounds is minus 255, which means the overwhelming majority of people think this goes to a decision. And in that case, Yan just needs to have a couple good minutes. That's all she needs, a couple good minutes, and I will hit my bet. One takedown. If she has one takedown with control time, call me trash. All right, trash. Thank you. All right, well, it's my bet. We're doing a full card parlay here. So let's go ahead. Marina was the pick. Let's see. Marina Rodriguez minus 270 takes our parlay to plus 586. We're throwing $20 at a full card parlay. We've only got 5 fights so far, so we've got a whole bunch more to add. And if the parlay hits, 100% of the money goes to the members of this channel. We give it away every single week. If this parlay hits, anybody who clicked the join button on this video will get that payout. So go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners. I will give you $50 as a thank you and a welcome to the club. And if you want to qualify for our full card parlay, click the join button under the video. And if this hits, you get paid. And these are your picks. We're throwing $20 at it this week. So right now, let me just recap. Our full card parlay, we only have 5 fights in here so far. The odds are plus 586. We've got Dustin Jacoby, Tagir Ulanbekov, Umar Nurmagomedov, Nikolai Negumereanu, and Marina Rodriguez. Let's keep this rolling. See who else we're going to add. This is a tricky one. Let us know who you think wins this fight as we break it down. And if you want to skip this fight in the full card parlay because it's a little risky, let us know that as well. We can certainly leave somebody out. We're literally just trying to get you guys paid. It's that simple. These are your picks. It's my money, but your picks.
Did that EO22 bet you on that first fight? That Jacoby
I don't
fight?
know.
He said he did. Because I like to see he keeps talking about it.
Jesse with the $10 donation. My man, Pots and Pans. Thank you, Jesse. Always very, very appreciated. Thank you very much. We've got, I don't know. EO, if you bet me, just do it again. This live chat's freaking flying. Okay, we have got Jalen Turner taking on Jamie Mullarkey. This is a tough fight, so let us know your picks. Jalen Turner, 11-5 overall. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off 3 stoppages in a row. Jamie Mullarkey, 3-2 in his last 5. He's got back-to-back knockout wins. He's 14-4 overall. Jalen Turner is a good boxer, and he somehow manages to come forward in his style and keep you at the end of his strikes. It's really awesome watching him do that. He's a big guy at 6'3", but Jamie Mullarkey isn't exactly small. He's a solid 6 feet in this division. Even though Jalen is known for his striking, he is coming off 2 submission wins in a row, which just shows how well-rounded he is. His takedown defense is 78%. He might need it in this matchup because anybody who's only watched Jamie Mullarkey in his last few fights, you might think he's a striker, but he's not. Jamie Mullarkey is a grappler. He basically reinvented himself. Okay, you're an absolute buffoon, dude.
Get out of here.
Jamie Mullarkey reinvented himself in 2021 as a striker. He's coming off those 2 nice knockout wins in a row. He's proven he's powerful, but I would not say he's great anywhere. Obviously, he's got some power in those hands, but he's not ever the best striker in a matchup. He's not ever the best grappler in a matchup, but he's a workhorse who's constantly pressuring, constantly trying to make something happen. If you look at his losses, he had decent outings against Brad Riddell, who we know is very good. He lost to Volkanovski in 2016. He's got a decent body of work. He is primarily a grappler, even though as of late he's been a striker. He's got solid takedowns, good pressure on top, and he ground and pounds to set up transitions or create scrambles, and then he looks for submissions. I think this is an interesting fight. I think Jalen Turner wins this fight, but Jamie Mullarkey has proven that he could have some success in the striking. I do think Jalen Turner's a much better striker here, though. So common sense would say that Jamie will just go back to his grappling and, stick to that. Because Matt Frivola was able to take Jalen Turner down 4 times. So I imagine Jamie Mullarkey could have some success. Not the same level as Matt Frivola, but some success there with the takedowns. If you look at Jamie's loss to Brad Riddell, he took him down 3 times and he still lost a decision. He took down Faraz Ziam 5 times and lost that decision as well. So it's not even a guarantee that if Jamie Mullarkey takes you down, he can win. But I like Jalen Turner to win this fight. I do think Jamie will probably come out with a wrestle-heavy game plan unless he has fully fallen in love with his hands. But what are your thoughts, Jacob, as I catch up on the live chat?
Funk Master.
And before you do, Funk Master Flay, $2 super chat. Thank you very much. $sign emoji. Thank you. Thank you. I was reading that. I thought the way it says Funk Master, I thought like quickly it looked like it said Mullarkey. I'm like, did he just buy the pick? If he bought the pick, he bought the pick. But thank you very much, Funkmaster. It's very, very appreciated.
Yeah, this is going to be one of my picks that, first of all, Jamie Mullarkey, is this guy a fighter or a male model? Am I right? I mean, just incredible looking, this guy. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be one of my lock of the weeks that's going to look very, very smart or very, very dumb, because I think that Jamie Mullarkey is either going to stone cold knock out Jalen or get knocked out himself. I love Jamie Mullarkey. I think he has the grappling advantage. Jalen Turner's coming off, back-to-back submissions, but he's not really a grappler. That last fight, was that against Ludovic, his last fight? Kind of caught a kick and just ended up on the ground and then was able to get submission off of that. But Jamie Mullarkey, if he wants to wrestle, can probably out-wrestle Jalen Turner in this matchup. And if he wants to strike, I think he's just like a savage enough and wild enough to win weird exchanges with Jalen, where I think Jalen probably is the better technical striker, but Jamie gets wild, man. That dude gets wild and throws some bombs, and if they land, it's going to be bad news for Jalen. So I see this fight going in this way. I think that Jamie doesn't really try to grapple. He can if he needs it. I think that Jalen is going to think that he has Jamie hurt at one point. He's going to land a big strike. Jamie's going to kind of take a false step. He's going to rush in, and then Jamie's just going to turn into that savage and just unload and catch Jalen. So this is my other lock of the week. I love Jamie Mullarkey in this matchup. I think that he's just a little bit tougher than Jalen. He's going to win those exchanges that you need to win the fight, maybe get a knockout. But this is definitely one of those ones where he could get flatlined, and this is going to look really, really stupid. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what I'm looking for, but anyway, he could get flatlined, but I'm Jamie Mullarkey all the way. I think he's going to win the matchup. I think he's just a savage, man. I love Jamie Mullarkey.
Do me a favor. Ban all of these people that just keep plugging this plus money bullshit. There's like 10 of them. Just kick them out. Ban them. Done. Okay. And then you pick Jamie Mullarkey. You look like him. I get it. Everybody was kind of trashing your eyebrow situation.
Look like him.
Really inappropriate, but it is what it is.
Look like him. What the hell?
Absolutely not. I agree. Jamie Mullarkey's much better shape. Physically, he's 6 feet tall, so he towers over you. You're a solid, 5'7.5", 5'9"?
Try 6'7".
Okay. Okay. So we've banned those clowns plugging something else. The overwhelming pick here was Jalen Turner. Seems like, and not only was the overwhelming pick Jalen Turner from the live chat, you guys are legit trashing Jamie Mullarkey. People don't even respect Jamie Mullarkey in the live chat.
Because when I'm talking, I can't look at the chat. So you guys better, the second I go, after I get done talking, I go back through the chat, and you guys are done. Boom, boom, boom. So you might want to, if you want to apologize real quick. Here we go.
And I don't know
Jacob
if
Mullarkey. There we go. Biker Boy
Boy
72. You're banned. Congratulations.
Congratulations on the ban. Well done. Anyway, we're building a full card parlay. There's 325 of you here. We're building a full card parlay. I'm putting $20 on it. The entire parlay, 100% of the parlay, if it hits, we're doing it with your picks from the live chat. And if it hits, 100% of the money goes to the members of this channel. So click the join button under this video, become a member. It's incredibly helpful and supportive to us. And as a thank you for becoming a member, all of our giveaways only qualify for members. The only giveaway that we do that anybody can qualify for is if you go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 5 different online sportsbook partners. 5. Jump into any one of them, make a deposit. After you do, let us know, and I send you $50. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. I literally send you $50 after you sign up as a thank you for supporting us, for supporting our partners, and helping us all grow. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Jump in, make a deposit. I send you $50. It's literally that simple. So, moving back to what's going on here, we're adding Jalen Turner to our full card parlay based on the picks from the live chat. Jalen Turner, minus 150 favorite. That moves our odds to plus.
Whoa. I was been reading the chat, wasn't listening to you. They picked Jalen Turner?
Yeah, like overwhelmingly so.
Overwhelming? What the hell? Where's all my Jamie Mullarkey guys at? Let's take a revote. Let me ban some people, and then we're gonna revote real quick here. Just give me 5 minutes to ban all these people, and then we're gonna revote, and it's gonna be for Jamie. You guys messed up, man. You guys, honestly, this is whew.
Okay. Anyway, Yeah, we do need a poll in the live chat, Giovanni. I agree. We're growing, and we need to adapt with the people. Anyway, we've added Jamie Mullarkey. That brings us to plus 1,044, which means $20 right now wins us $208. We only have 6 fights in this parlay, so we have a lot to go. 100% of the winnings go to members of the channel. Click the join button. A few of you already have. Click the join button to become a member so you can qualify for this payout. We're being very selective here with the picks, so I do think this one is going to hit. More so than when we force. We've got the main card opener, Sergey Spivak versus Greg Hardy. Before I jump into this, Greg Hardy looked like absolute trash at the weigh-ins. The guy weighed in late, looked soft as hell. Greg Hardy.
The guy cut, according to him, he cut 30 pounds in 2 days. So, you're going to look a little.
Like, why?
He said he was
that big?
295 on Tuesday or Wednesday, and he said he walks around at 310. He's like, I'm a big boy, and he is a monster.
He never did. I talked to some people that were at American Top Team when he was there. They said he was never that big, never had the cut weight like that. So he left American Top Team. He moved out of Florida, and he's
with Rashad Evans now, right?
Yeah, but it's like a small operation.
Did Rashad just fight?
Rashad did just fight.
He won too, didn't he?
Yeah, but Rashad's a collegiate, dominant wrestler his whole life. So that's what he did. He just wrestled in that fight. Anyway, Greg Hardy did not look good at weigh-ins. Greg Hardy does have incredible power in his hands, though. So he's fighting Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak, 13-3 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He did just get stopped by Tom Aspinall, but you can't really compare Greg Hardy and Tom Aspinall as far as striking acumen is concerned. Greg Hardy, 7-4 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off back-to-back losses. The most recent one to Tai Tuivasa, but he had Tai Tuivasa absolutely blitzed. He almost put Tai Tuivasa out. And if that exact same punch lands, same punch lands against Sergey Spivak, that's it. Lights out. I think Tai Tuivasa is literally the only person in the division that could have taken that punch and survive. But Sergey Spivak, he's a heavyweight. He's a heavyweight grappler. It's that simple. He's a big dude. He likes to grapple. His striking is just okay. And when he is in charge and he's dictating and he's smacking people around, he's a better hammer than nail, as I like to describe it. He can come forward, he can get those takedowns, and he can smash. But if he starts to get a little adversity, he does have, I don't want to say crumble. Like, he didn't look too good against Alexei Olenik, who's not young. But this isn't Alexei Olenik. Greg Hardy is incredibly athletic. Let's not forget he he competed in the NFL. He was legitimately good in the NFL. Not like when we talk about Matt Mitrione, who played a few seasons and was cut. Greg Hardy was actually good. And if he didn't have all the personal issues that he had, could have finished out a full career in the NFL. So that means he's one of the best athletes on the planet, right? Top 1% athletes on the planet. And he uses that athleticism in his fights. He learns pretty quickly. He's got power in his hands. He's incredibly fast. He's got good hips, good movement. He does need an inhaler, but, that is what it is. So we have a straight-up striker versus grappler. Greg Hardy, if he can keep it standing, can knock out Sergey Spivak, no question about it. Sergey Spivak, if he gets it to the ground, it should be lights out from there because Greg Hardy, we've seen him defend takedowns. He's got 80% takedown defense, but when he can't defend a takedown, he's pretty clueless on the ground. He's pretty easy to control and do things too. So this is really, at the end of the day, if you think Sergey Spivak gets this to the ground, that's the pick. If you don't think he can, then Greg Hardy's the pick. I think it's literally that cut and dry. Let us know in the live chat who you think wins this fight because we will add that person to our full card parlay. Jakey boy, what do you think?
Yeah, Sergey should be the pick. He was my pick on Tuesday. He's a much better fighter. As people have mentioned in the chat, Greg Hardy is not that good, right? He's not technical. He's just athletic. He's big. He has power. If Sergey's able to slow down this fight, even if he can't get the takedowns, if you grind on Greg Hardy, he's probably going to fold. He's probably going to quit. But with that said, man, I picked Sergey on Tuesday. There's just something that just tells me that Greg Hardy, pay-per-view, is going to just run across and just land one of those bombs. We saw against Ty. He landed the bomb, and he got a little overzealous, and Ty was able to catch him on the counter. But And let me just preface this too for the people that don't know. Every single time I pick Greg Hardy, he loses. Every single time I pick against Greg Hardy, he wins. So Tuesday I picked against him. Now I'm going to pick Greg Hardy. So this might end in a draw somehow. I don't know what's going to happen. My pick's going to be Greg Hardy. You shouldn't pick Greg Hardy unless you think he's just going to blitz him and get a knockout. But I think that's just going to happen. I think he's just going to find a way to get that weird knockout and that weird Greg Hardy way. So my pick is going to be Greg Hardy, I guess. But Spivak is the pick. He's an actual fighter. He's well-rounded, actual fighter, can get his fight to the ground and dominate. But if people are picking Greg Hardy for the first round knockout, I don't blame them. My bet for this fight is under 1.5, and I think I got plus money on that. I don't know what it is now, but I bet under 1.5, just a unit on it. I think at plus, I got plus 130. Let's see what it is now.
Eric is having a great laugh over here. LMA. Oh, Eric's just cracking up laughing. How funny. I can't believe I possibly said that being in the NFL and at that level, he's a top 1% on athlete on the planet. And yeah, why would athleticism? How could athleticism possibly help you?
Dude, there's nobody in there's nobody in the UFC. There's probably nobody in the UFC that can be 6'5", 300 pounds. Let's say he's actually 300 pounds and move like Greg Hardy. Because football movement, you got to be explosive. That's so many explosive movements in football. I don't think anyone can be that big and move like Greg Hardy can move. Does he move in the right ways? And can he use his power in the right ways? No, because he doesn't have the technique behind it. But as pure athleticism, he's probably the most athletic guy in the UFC, honestly.
And the breakdown was literally, he's an incredible athlete and he uses that athleticism. He is not nearly as technically sound as half of his competition, but he moves so well. He's got such power in his hands, such speed, and he uses that athleticism. I've wrestled my entire life, and there are people that I was far superior to technically that were much better athletes that gave me a really hard time. I lost in the state finals. I lost to a dude had only wrestled 2 years, and he was an unbelievable soccer player. Not like just an unbelievable soccer player, giant soccer legs, incredible cardio, stupid fast. I was way better, and I lost to him because of he was just more athletic.
I mean, that's what I've been trying to tell you. Like, if me and you were to wrestle, yes, you know what you're doing, but I'm the athlete, right? I will be able to do things that you cannot prepare for, and that's why I would dominate a grappling match versus you.
What a joke. What a joke.
Let's do this. Actually, let's do this. Hold on. Wait for my thing.
What is your question, you thirsty troll? What's your question? What's your answer, Mike? What's your question? Here's your question. So did Hardy come and dominate? What the hell does that mean? People. Where am I? All right, this dude's an idiot. Let's move on. Did we get a vote? Who voted?
Actually, they're voting right now on who would win in a wrestling match, me or you. And I'm seeing a lot of Jacobs. I'm counting. It's Jacob. There's no Jacob. There's another Jacob.
Let's stand next to each other and take a picture and then let them vote.
There's another Jacob.
Yeah. It would be like the
chat has frozen. Picture. The chat has frozen with Jacobs. This is crazy.
Yeah. If me and you taking a picture next to each other is like a Shaq Kevin Hart.
Shirt off or shirt on?
I'm from Alabama. You can tell by my thick Alabama accent I wrestled in Alabama. Anyway, I'm done talking to you. You have lost my interest. What is the pick, guys? We have to add this fighter to our full card parlay. We're building a full card parlay with your picks, everybody except Eric from the live chat. And the payout will go to members of this channel. So click the join button. Become a member. Let's see.
El Jefe knows what's going on. This guy, let's promote him real quick.
I'm seeing, honestly, the problem is the live chat's split on this fight. So what the hell do we do here? Do we go with the favorite or do we leave this out? The problem is we've only got.
Why don't we just play something like does not go the? Can you do it on that one? Does not go the distance is minus 270.
No, over 1.5 or under 1.5.
I don't like the 1.5. I played the under, but I don't really like it that much.
Then we have money line. What is this? This must be, I don't know what this is. It doesn't say. You know what I mean? This just doesn't say what the hell it is.
It looks like that's the
It just says yes, no. This
finish.
probably is go to a decision. But
Yeah, it's probably a
doesn't
decision.
say. And I'm placing the bet on BetUS, not my bookie. But this is saying, yeah, I mean, this is probably does not.
Let's
go
just
to a
do the
decision.
draw. Let's do a draw. Plus 6,500.
Okay. No, here. We're going to add.
Yo, can you bet this EO guy? He wanted to bet you $100 on the Dustin fight, and now he wants 50.
I already bet
on Mullarkey.
100 on the Dustin. No, EO, tell you what, I'm only doing one bet with you because last week I bet $400 and nobody paid me.
Yeah, where the
one
hell
person.
did Braden go? Braden!
One person paid me. If we bet and I win and you pay me, I'll bet you again. Everybody's got to earn my trust after last week's fiasco. We're going to add Spivak. I did a quick tally. It looks like Spivak won, and this guy's still hanging out. It looks like Spivak. So we're going to add Spivak. Money line, he's a minus 200 favorite. That takes us to plus 1617. Our $20 is a $323 payout, but we are not done.
You see the comment I'm laughing at?
Yeah, UNL Hefe.
Angelo is jealous because Jacob has that King Kong ding dong.
Sure. I know.
It's funny because it's true. I mean, that's why it's so funny.
Those are always the funniest.
My
Then we
OnlyFans is onlyfans.com/thefreckled salamander. Check it out.
And everybody knows how big salamanders are. And then we've got Kevin Holland. Now I was going to say back down, but down to 170, and he's taking on Alex Oliveira. Kevin Holland, 21-7 overall, 2-2-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that headbutt no contest to Kyle Dawkins. Before that, just 2 absolute maulings because Kevin Holland can't defend a takedown to save his life. Alex Oliveira, 22-11 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He is on a 3-fight skid. He's sort of an aging vet at this point. Kevin Holland, we've talked about him many times. Laser pinpoint accuracy in his hands. Solid power in his hands. Very good on the ground. One of the worst defensive wrestlers in the history of the UFC. It's incredible how
He was
bad
fine
his
versus
defensive
Dawkins.
wrestling- What?
He was fine versus Dawkins.
Okay. He's fighting Alex Oliveira. Alex Oliveira, incredibly athletic, great boxing, great kicks, solid submissions, good takedown defense. He really is a complete fighter. Alex Oliveira has always been like the number 11 guy in the world. He never quite beat those top 10 guys, but beat pretty much everybody else. He's starting to get a little older, starting to slow down a bit, losing a little bit of a step. But Alex Oliveira is incredibly good, has fantastic leg kicks, and those leg kicks might be the difference here. I personally am looking forward to this fight a lot. I do think Kevin Holland should win. I think Kevin Holland's got the more accurate boxing. Alex Oliveira has the much better leg kicks. I think when it hits the ground, Kevin Holland's probably the better grappler. But the problem is, off his back is off his back. So I don't know if Alex Oliveira is going to shoot takedowns because he's only had 2 takedowns in his last 5 fights total. So I do think this will stay on their feet. And if it does stay on the feet, then we finally get to see what Kevin Holland actually is made of. And to me, this is a win or you're done type fight for Kevin Holland. If he loses this after dropping down in weight, like after, he's made some commitments to the wrestling. He competed in a grappling match a few months ago. I think there's so much pressure on him to win this fight. Otherwise, then what, right? So I know you're a giant Kevin Holland guy. You guys let us know in the live chat who you think wins this fight. I will add that person to our full card parlay. And Jacob, what are your thoughts?
No, I completely agree with you about that. This is like a kind of a must-win for Kevin Holland. I think the UFC kind of sees that as well. I think that this was a match put together so Kevin Holland can show off his striking abilities against someone that will be fun to watch and will go back and forth, but doesn't really have a huge threat. I know that's kind of disrespectful to Cowboy, but not a real threat with Kevin Holland's length and the way he's able to strike. I don't think there's a threat for a Cowboy to finish Holland, and I definitely don't think he's going to be able to like outpoint Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland should have made this switch a long time ago. He was having success at 185, obviously, but then he came up against all those grapplers and he realized, even because we mentioned the athleticism, right? Sometimes if you're strong enough, if you don't have the technique, you can kind of stuff some takedowns just kind of with some strength, right? Technique is more important, but Kevin Holland, being the smaller guy at 185, wasn't able to stuff those takedowns with just strength, with just athleticism, because he's also a very athletic guy. He needed the technique. He didn't have it. So coming down to 170, you kind of only need half the technique if you're going to be a little bit bigger and stronger than these guys. And Cowboy's obviously not going to try and grapple versus Kevin Holland. So I think this was tailor-made fight for Kevin Holland. I think he should absolutely dominate this fight. He's in my favorites parlay. What are you shaking your head for?
The pinned comment.
Oh, I thought you were shaking at me. I'm like, there's no way you disagree with me. I'll backhand you. I'll backhand you so quick. You disagree with me. I hate that backhand real quick. Shut you up.
You signed up for BetUS. If you did it through our link and you want $50 from me, just go to WeWantPicks.com. There's literally a button that says claim your $50. Just fill that out, submit it, and I'll get you paid probably by tomorrow afternoon. It takes like 24 hours for the system to update. Once it updates and I see you in there, I get you paid. That's simple.
Yeah, but this is going to be a fun fight. There's going to be a lot of trash talk. I'm a Kevin Holland guy, so I am biased, but I think that this matchup is perfect for him. I think the UFC knows it. They want to put him on the made card, you know, in a pay-per-view to show him off again so they can kind of make some matches. He's a guy that I could see headlining a couple kind of fight nights, 5-round fight nights in that 170 division as he works his way up. And I think he's going to be one of those top 5 guys in that division eventually. But I agree with you. If he loses this, it's bad news. You cannot lose this fight because this is tailor-made for you. So I'm Kevin Holland all the way. He's in my parlay, and I think he should be the pick for you guys' parlay as well.
Yeah, and the live chat completely agrees. I got like 3 Oliveras. Everybody else was all over Kevin Holland. And we'll add a poll going forward. It's just like I already have a freaking 49-inch ultra wide, and I've got 5 windows up right now, so I'm going to have to figure out how to you and I, Jacob, need to figure out how you can put up polls.
It literally used to be an option. I don't know why it's not there anymore. All I have is emojis.
I'll see. Maybe you somehow lost your. I don't know. I will figure it out because it's brutal.
I used to be able to do them, but it never worked for me. So maybe that's why. Maybe they took it away from monitors because it just never worked. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, the live chat agrees. So anybody that's just hopping in, we are building a full card parlay. I'm throwing $20 at it. It's $20 of my money, but the payout goes to you, all the members of this channel. So click the join button under this video to become a member. All the people with crowns in the comments are the members.
Get your crown.
Will cash. What?
Nah, just saying, get your crown. They look good.
They do.
Crowns look good.
So let's go ahead. We're going to add Kevin Holland to the full card parlays. Where you at, my boy? My boy? Minus 360. Yikes. But that does take us to plus 2,094. So $20 is paying out $418. Zach B. We have a $5 contest on the DraftKings League. Spots still left. So Zach, thank you very much for the super chat. And what Zach is talking about is if you go to WeWantPicks.com/DraftKings, we have a free league. We have a free DraftKings league. And we let you guys do whatever you want in there. Join our free league and win. I'll give you $50 if you're a member. But we also let people in there create their own contest. So Zach is saying there's a $5 contest inside that DraftKings league. If you want to join, hop in, compete against the other people in this live chat. Go for it. Zach, thank you very much for the super chat. It is much appreciated. King without his crown. Okay. So we have added Kevin Holland. Just 3 fights left. We've got Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. You can join. I don't give a whoop. Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell, non-stop country boy wrestler. He's 14-0 in his career. He has been off for an entire year with a couple random injuries, and he is on his way back. And he's fighting Edson Barboza, 22-10 overall, 2-3 in his last 5, which is unfortunate. But one of those losses was to Giga, and he has some awesome wins recently. I don't have to go far to just see an awesome Edson Barboza win. Look what he just did to Shane Burgos, was it 6 months ago? So Edson Barboza is still very, very capable guy. He's a great striker. He has amazing movement. He's basically fought every single human being in 2 different divisions, in lightweight and featherweight. Edson Barboza
he still won't fight me, though. I've been asking for that fight for years. He won't fight me.
Okay. He's fought all of them. He's got sneaky submissions on the ground, phenomenal leg kicks and boxing on his feet. He's fighting Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell is essentially a one-trick pony, and I don't even mean that in a derogatory fashion. If Bryce Mitchell's last name was Ulanbekov or Nurmagomedov, Bryce Mitchell would be a minus 500 favorite. He's only a minus 155 favorite because he's Bryce Mitchell. But that is how he fights. It's just nonstop chain wrestling. He doesn't even pretend that he wants to strike with anybody. He literally just starts, his hands are low, and he just starts diving at legs and working from there. And he's very effective at it. He averages 3 takedowns per fight. He had 7 takedowns against Andre Fili alone. And Andre Fili is also a phenomenal striker like Edson Barboza. He's not as much of a threat on the ground, but he is a phenomenal striker. So this is really hard because Edson Barboza has a 78% takedown defense, and that is over 26 fights. That's not 78%, and he's only fought 3 times. Over 26 fights, including, the who's who of many divisions. Edson Barboza, I love him. I want to pick him, but I just can't. I'm going with Bryce Mitchell. I just think he will non-stop. I just think he's just not going to stop wrestling. Now, if Edson stops him with the strikes, great. Edson's a legend. I'll be happy for him, but I do think Bryce Mitchell wins. But it's not my pick. It's your pick, so let us know in the live chat who you think wins, and we will go ahead and add that to the full card parlay. Jacob, why is the crown for Bryce Mitchell? What am I missing?
No, we were talking about how good the crowns look in the chat. I forgot that I had a crown, so I put the crown on. I mean, I'm the people's champ. That's what I do. I'm the king around here. I think you know that as well. The biggest question mark in this fight that Jester mentioned, and Jester in the chat was literally the first person I have seen, and it's kind of taken off on Twitter since then, because we tweeted after Jester let us know that there's like something wrong with Bryce Mitchell's arm. There is a big bruise. You can check out my Twitter, the We Won't Picks Twitter. It's kind of making its rounds now that there was a big bruise on his forearm and bicep area of his right arm, and it kind of looked like a bicep tear. I think we've seen bicep tears before, and that's what the bruise looked like. But then you listen to him after weigh-ins. He was on he was at the post weigh-in show, or the UFC weigh-in show, and they were doing the whole thing. First of all, the UFC loves Bryce Mitchell. They put him. Nobody was in the embeddeds more than Bryce Mitchell. They put him on the post-fight show. They're doing special videos for him online. So the UFC definitely wants to keep Bryce Mitchell winning fights. This is a tough matchup. This is going to be obviously the toughest matchup he's had, especially in the striking and the takedowns. But what I was alluding to is on that post weigh-in show, he talked about, because he lives on a farm, and he was talking about the farm life with Laura Senko. Shout out Laura Senko if you're watching. You're looking good. They were talking about the farm life and how some stuff can be dangerous. And he said, like, a few days ago or last week or something, he's like, yeah, I was trying to get this calf from the mama cow. She almost killed me when I was trying to pick up this calf. And when he made the motion of trying to pick up the calf, he kind of made the motion of, like, with his right arm, he went to pick up this calf. And I think the mom maybe ran into him. Maybe he ran into a fence. So it looks kind of like a bicep tear, but the way he's acting in the embedded on Sunday, he's firing up a chainsaw. It doesn't look like he's favoring it at all. I mentioned after the weigh-ins that he didn't flex. Everyone flexes, but I don't know if that's maybe just not his thing. He's a very focused individual when it comes to fighting. So I think that's more of a farm bruise. I think he like slammed it in a fence or something with the cows. I know that you're not from the. Yeah, you're not from the country, Angela. You don't know that. Us farm people are very, very tough.
Yeah.
We get bumps and bruises all the time. We're running. We get kicked by horses, by donkeys, getting bitten by chickens, rooster, peacocks, the whole 9 yards. So you don't know about the farm life. I do. We're the toughest individuals, the toughest son of a bitch you ever seen in your life. And Bryce Mitchell, Arkansas, is one of those guys. My crown's about to fall off, but I think he dominates this matchup. I put 5 units on him to win this matchup. I saw that bruise. I got a little hesitant. I started playing with parlays that didn't have Bryce Mitchell in it. I have a favorites parlay with Bryce Mitchell. I put 5 units on him to win. He should be able to get his hands on Barboza, get him to the ground, and do what he does, and that is just dominate the grappling. A lot of people are going to... I've seen a lot of Edsons leading up to this fight.
There are a lot of Edsons, but there
are
a lot of Edsons in the live chat, but Bryce Mitchell won the vote.
No, but I'm just saying, even like on Twitter, when you look at, there's a lot of people that are playing the Barboza side, but they're gonna find out very quickly how good Bryce Mitchell is at grappling, and he is relentless too.
I love Edson Barboza, and I have money on Bryce Mitchell as well. I have one parlay with him. I imagine you'll be here watching the fights. I imagine as soon as that fight starts, I'll be rooting for Edson Barboza. I just feel like that's going to happen. How could you not root for that guy? You know what I mean?
How can you not root for Bryce Mitchell's like the nicest dude in the entire world?
Yeah, but he's
loves Bryce.
young. He's like Edson Barboza's been here forever, putting his time in. I find myself gravitating towards those guys.
You know what's funny too is the UFC never shows him as 14-0. They always show him as 14-1 because he lost his contender series or as a contender series fight. It was just an exhibition.
It's a real fight.
Well, it shows as an exhibition, but so I don't know. Sometimes he's undefeated, sometimes he's not. Yeah. But if you were the UFC, you would want him to promote him as an undefeated fighter, I would think.
Right. We have a new member, Hank Hill. Pots and pans, welcome, and let's hope this pays out. Hank, what was your vote? What was your vote for this fight? Bryce is who's going in the lineup. I can't let people be buying votes, but we're throwing Bryce Mitchell in there, and let's see what Hank thinks. Thank you very much for the sponsorship. Newbie TV subscriber, thank you. Hank said Thug Nasty, so Thug Nasty it is. So let's go ahead and add Bryce Mitchell. That takes us to plus 3,465. So $20 gets us to almost $700 payout. We have two more fights to add. That will get us over the $1,000 mark. I'm 100% positive. Let's jump into the next fight. We're building a full card parlay. We are doing it with your picks from the live chat. These are not our picks. We're breaking them down, giving you insight. You're picking who you think wins. We're adding them to a full card parlay, and if the parlay hits, only the members of this channel will get the payout, but 100% of the money goes to the members. A new subscriber. Let me walk through what the parlay looks like. It's 9 fights. We have 2 more to go, so it'll probably end up being an 11-fight parlay. We've got Dustin Jacoby, Tagir Ulanbekov, Umar Nurmagomedov, Nikolai Negumereanu, Marina Rodriguez, Jalen Turner, Sergey Spivak, Kevin Holland, and now Bryce Mitchell. Honestly, and this isn't just a sales pitch, because first of all, I'm the one laying out the money here. So
Jalen Turner, that's a mistake. I'm gonna keep saying it's a mistake.
No, I legit think that this parlay hits. I legit think it hits.
If we switch it to Jamie Mullarkey, I agree.
Then we have the new co-main event of the evening. We have Rafael dos Anjos versus Renato Moicano. 2 Brazilians. R's become H's. Rafael dos Anjos was originally supposed to fight Fizayev, who got COVID. Oh, I didn't update this graphic, but we also have DraftKings for Moicano. Yeah, let's just go ahead. Boom. Rafael dos Anjos is 30-13 overall. He's only 2-3 in his last 5, but he is coming off a win over Paul Felder, and he has fought the absolute who's who of 2 divisions, 155
2-4 in his
170.
last 6, if you want to expand it.
He is. And I talk about that in a second. I'm looking at my notes. It's right here. Renato Moicano, he's 3-2 in his last 5. He's 16-4 overall. He just got a win at UFC 271 over Alexander Hernandez, and he looked amazing in that fight. I thought Alex would be a little more live than he was. I mean, Renato Moicano just blasted through that guy in his feet and then submitted him on the ground. Rafael dos Anjos, he's the former lightweight champion of the world. He was supposed to fight Conor McGregor years ago, and he didn't, and that's when we got to see Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. So as a fan, it actually worked out for everybody. But as far as dos Anjos'
that is crazy they were supposed to fight. I didn't even realize that was supposed to happen. Obviously, I know now, but in the moment,
yeah, that's what the matchup was supposed to be, and that's why Diaz stepped up on short notice. We got that fight. It ended up working out for the best, but poor dos Anjos missed out on the payday of a century. He developed clean striking over time, but he is a grappler. Rafael dos Anjos is a traditional Brazilian fighter, right? He jiu-jitsu, black belt in jiu-jitsu, very accomplished. Started MMA as only a grappler, then developed his hands over time. He's with Novinhao, and they did a great job with his hands. So his striking is fantastic. He is 2-4 in his last 6, as Jacob said. But if we look at who he lost to in that time span, he lost to Usman at 170, Kobe Covington.
Hold on, let me go through the list. Hold on, let me go through the entire list, because the entire list is crazy. Since 2013, the people he fought is Cowboy, Khabib, Jason High, Benson Henderson, Nate Diaz, Anthony Pettis, Cowboy again, Eddie Alvarez, Tony Ferguson, a guy named Tarek, Neil Magny, Robbie Lawler, Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, Kevin Lee, Leon Edwards, Michael Chiesa, Paul Felder. Those are all in a row. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
You listed like 12 fighters there. Off the top of my head, I would say 7 or 8 of them were former world champions.
And before that, Clay Guida, former Lock of the Week. Jeremy Stevens.
Everybody. He's literally fought and beaten most people. Those Cowboy fights, he defended.
He won most of those too. Yeah, he won most of those.
He knocked out Cowboy. And that was for a belt. What?
He's beat him twice. Yeah.
Yeah, but he knocked him out. And that was before Cowboy was getting knocked out. Rafael dos Anjos is very good, which is going to make my pick even weirder here. But Renato Moicano is do I switch my pick to Rafael dos Anjos?
Do it, and I'll bet you.
If you come over.
Put 20 on it?
If you come over.
What a joke.
Yeah, Renato Moicano is very good. Renato Moicano, high-level BJJ black belt. He just beat Alexander Hernandez at UFC 271. He beat Chase Hooper in a grappling match, I don't know, a month or two ago. And if we look at that Alexander Hernandez fight, he took him down twice, and then he submitted him, and he was hanging with him on his feet. And it just reinforces that Moicano is not just a BJJ guy. He can wrestle, so he's got his own takedowns. He can strike. He is a technical striker. He beat Calvin Kattar in 2018 with 0 grappling. He outstruck Calvin Kattar in 2018. Rafael dos Anjos is a good size favorite here. Let me see what the odds are right now. Minus 170. So he's almost a 2-1 favorite.
They've been moving around a little bit. I think they came down and then they went back up.
Well, and that's because, listen, everything you just listed, he's obviously very accomplished. The short notice factor here. But Moicano did just fight about 3 weeks ago, and I actually think this is a harder fight than Fiziev. And he was an underdog against Fiziev. I think Fiziev is tougher in the sense that he's probably the best striker in the entire division. But you don't strike with him. Just try to take him down at all costs. And if you can, you may have some success. You can probably lose a striking match to Moicano. You can definitely lose a grappling match to Moicano. So your only hope is to really catch him clean on the chin because his chin can be a little suspect. So, I think this is actually a tougher fight than the original opponent. Short notice may help him, but I like Renato Moicano to win this fight. But my God, is that paper thin? What do you think as I see what the live chat thinks?
Yeah, you kind of mentioned in Kevin Holland that this is a fight that Kevin Holland needs to win. I think for RDA, this is a fight. It's a short notice opponent. You haven't really fought in a year and a half, and that fight a year and a half ago was also against a 3-day notice Paul Felder, and he dominated that fight. It was a split decision, but he dominated that fight. So I think to get back on track, if you want to be who you want to be in RDA and challenge for the title one more time before the career's over, you have to win this fight. You have to win this fight. It's short notice. It's against a guy, that is talented, but he's not an overwhelmingly good at anything, right? He's very good everywhere, but he's not like this fantastic striker, this fantastic grappler. If you're RDA, you got to win this fight. If this was 3 rounds, I would be all over Moicano. And I have a bet on Moicano already. I think that Moicano can win this fight. I just like if I'm playing, I think it's a pick'em, so I'm going to play the underdog role in that matchup. If this was 3 rounds, I'd be all over Moicano. But the longer this fight goes, I can't remember. I agreed with somebody in the chat. I can't remember what their name was. See if I can find it real quick. But they meant the longer this fight goes, because Moicano, everyone's mentioned, he's on the plane for 20 hours. He just got off. He made weight fine. He looked fine. But 5 rounds, if this goes, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, you got to go RDA. So if I'm looking at this fight, this might be one of those situations where I have a money line bet on Moicano already. But if this gets out of the 2nd round, it might be a live bet situation. Maybe Moicano's winning the striking. RDA can't get the takedowns, but RDA should be able to get the takedowns fairly easily in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. So if he's surviving, if he's in the 2nd round, even if he lost the first 2 rounds, this might be a live bet situation where I'm taking RDA at like a plus 300, plus 400, depending how the fight's going. So I'm going to pay attention to this fight. My pick is Moicano. I wish it was a 3-round fight for his sake. But RDA, yeah, this is a fight you got to win. If you want to be where you want to be and challenge for the title again, you got to win this fight. You got to win it.
Yeah, it is, man. I literally just keep going back and forth because it's so crazy. Like, I love Rafael dos Anjos. I think, first of all, I don't think he gets the respects he deserves. I mean, that guy, he's an all-timer. And he's not the greatest fighter to ever do it, but like...
And he looks like he has not stopped working out in like 2 years. He looked incredible. Holy shit.
Yeah, he does look good. And, the short notice, here's the thing about short notice. I've managed fighters for a very long time. And a lot of these guys, right after the fight is when they go nuts. They start eating like absolute trash because, they're not fighting anytime soon. They start eating like crap, taking the time off. Moicano went to Brazil. Man.
You know what's funny, too, is RDA, I mentioned how good RDA looked. You know that he knows he looks good because at the ceremonial weigh-ins, usually they just kind of get back on the scale, right? They don't do like the normal, like the whatever, where they strip down everything. RDA came out, no socks, no nothing, came out, even took his shorts off to bring, to show himself in the underwear. So he knows he's looking good. So that's just something I noticed. Ceremonial weigh-ins, he was letting it all hang out.
It's,
and God bless him for it.
It's interesting, man. I like Moicano to win just because of how crafty he is on the ground, and his striking can be good. But Rafael dos Anjos is no joke. No joke. It's hard.
Yeah, does not go the distance is only -130, and this is a 5-round fight. That's an interesting bet. I think I'm going to play that right now, honestly. 5 rounds does not go the distance for -130. I mean, RDA could just kind of grind him, but I think if he's grinding him in the 4th and 5th, he's going to finish him.
Here, I'm going to answer this phone call. You keep talking.
All right, I'm just going to keep. Let's talk about all the people we've banned in the chat so far. What's EO22 again? Hey Jacob, I'll bet you $100 that Masvidal beats Covington. You want to take that bet? There's no way you're going to pay me on that bet. There's absolutely no way. Covington's going to dominate that fight, and you're not going to show up. So no, I don't want to take that bet. But yeah, I think I'm going to play this -130. Does not go the distance. I'm just going to put 1.3 units on it to get back a unit, and that's an easy place bet. So there we go. Are you still on the? Oh, you're still on the phone. So what's going on, guys? How are we feeling? I want to know, since the main event is next, let's start going about the main event. Colby versus Jorge. Is there anyone actually rooting for Colby? Honestly, because I'll be honest. I'm like not a Colby guy, but I like Colby as a fighter because his tenacity, his wrestling, his cardio, the volume. I thought that he was going to win the first fight versus Usman. I thought he was up. I thought it was 2-2 going into the 5th, and it felt like the tide was turning, but I thought he might have won that decision. I actually kind of thought he won the second fight versus Usman. But after that last press conference, dude, I hate Colby. Like, he was so, like, he's not even, like, he's one of those guys that, there's difference between, like, Conor when he trash talks. Some of it is, like, just mean stuff, but some of it's kind of funny, right? Sometimes Conor says stuff, it's witty, it's funny, it's this and that. Colby, when he says stuff, is just, like, mean. Just mean to be mean. So, you're back now.
Colby?
No, I was talking about the main event since we're getting to the main event, but I asked if anyone is, like, actually rooting for Colby.
Sorry, that was the wife FaceTime me because she brought a printer she works at a hospital. She bought a printer for her office at the hospital. And she was like, how do I plug this in? So it's like, Jesus Christ. And they trust you with saving people's lives. How do I plug this in? Okay. So did we get a consensus? I think it was RDA was the vast majority of the live chat.
I wouldn't pay attention.
What? Yeah, it was RDA. Let's add RDA. That takes our odds to plus 55.63. So $20 gets us over $1,000. The payout is $1,112. If you want to qualify for this payout, click the join button under this video and become a member of this channel. This is a 10-fight parlay. I imagine this is going to be an 11-fight parlay. I'm laying out $20, but the members of this channel are going to reap the benefits if it hits. Let me run through what we got going on here. We have Dustin Jacoby, Tagir Ulanbekov, Umar Nurmagomedov, Nikolai Negumereanu, Marina Rodriguez, Jalen Turner, Sergey Spivak, Kevin Holland, Bryce Mitchell, and Rafael dos Anjos. Honestly, this is a very live parlay considering its size and the payout amount. Let's go to the main event of the evening. We've got Colby Covington taking on George Masvidal. Everybody knows the plot line. I'll give you some inside scoop. 1, these guys were best friends and they absolutely hate each other. Colby used to live with George Masvidal at his house with his wife at the time when he first came to American Top Team. Colby got recruited by American Top Team. American Top Team did like a whole let's get these high-level wrestlers in here type movement. Kobe was one of those guys. Him and George used to train together forever, legit training partners. I reached out to somebody I know who knows them both really well and said, hey, how did those training sessions go? And essentially it was that Kobe would dominate the grappling exchanges, but when they were on their feet, anytime George got the best of them, Kobe would throw a borderline temper tantrum inside the gym. And I said, that's surprising because he's just so tough, like in his fights. And he said he's tough, but he was a bit of a diva. Then this whole drama with the coach situation and not paying, that's what split their friendship up. So you pay American Top Team 5% as a management fee, right? They get you your fights, you pay them 5%, and they train you. Like that's, you don't pay $500 a month. You just pay 5% of whatever you earn in your fights. So Kobe paid American Top Team as 5%, but a lot of them use coaches that are not American Top Team coaches for privates and other stuff. And he had I think it was a boxing coach. He was not an American Top Team coach. So American Top Team doesn't pay this guy. The fighters have to pay them directly. Kobe did not pay that guy, just didn't pay him and said, well, I paid American Top Team. So George, who knows that striking coach and likes him, paid Kobe's debt. He paid the coach because he can't, he couldn't stand to see this guy not get paid. And that's what caused the rift. Nothing I'm saying. I said insider. I mean, this is all scoop.
No, Kobe at the press conference literally said, I paid my 5% to ATT, so he should have got paid. And then Jorge's literally like, he doesn't work for ATT, dipshit. Like that's the reason. Like that's why he didn't get paid. So
and that's the whole thing. So I said inside scoop. This is what the guy that was front and center for all this told me, but it's all public anyway. Bipolar Canadian dollars. Bipolar, throw out stats, history, sparring history.
Those rubles?
This fight has so much pressure. It is a flat-out street fight. I honestly, first of all, thank you so much for the super chat. It is much appreciated. We put in so much time and effort every week that the love from the live chat, the super chats, that honestly, it's kind of a shitty day outside. I'm tired, We come in here, you guys appreciate us, and we appreciate you, and it makes all of this worth it. So thank you very much.
If you can't super chat, just like the stream. All you gotta do is like the stream, and that's a big support. That helps out guys more than you really think. Honestly, it's just liking 100%. The stream. That helps other people find us, and it's very easy. It's just one click, just boop, very easy.
And Akin, no, they did not all pay. A bunch of bums did not pay me. A bunch of those bums. Go to the Parker Porter video that I uploaded. Those are all the bums that still haven't paid. Jacob paid. He pays his debts. Sean or Chris, I forget. One of the V's paid. Good guy, paid quickly. The rest of those clowns, one disappeared off the face of the earth. Two were like, oops, I'll pay you, and haven't heard from since. I'm from Connecticut. Jacob, you could tell by his really bad teeth and his poor grammar, he's from the Midwest. Okay. There's some history between these two. That's sort of where it's split and why they hate each other. The reality is Colby Covington is a nasty wrestler, come forward pace, never stops moving, and he's proven just how incredibly tough he is. George Masvidal, Kobe calls him a journeyman as an insult, but he honestly is kind of a journeyman, as unfortunate as that is. And as fortunate as we are, Akin, thanks for the regular content, guys. Love you both very much.
Those are pounds, by the way. I know you're not cultured, but those are pounds.
No, that's worth way more than the American dollar. So well, maybe not right now. But thank you very much. That is incredibly appreciated. Like I said, just being appreciated makes the hundreds of hours that go into this every week absolutely worth it.
But
so thank
Akin,
you
it says thanks for regular content, guys. Love you both. But if you had to pick one of us, which one would you pick?
Send $10 if you love Jacob, and send $20.
Right.
So thank you very much. It's very appreciated, Akin. Anyway, personally, I think Kobe wins because of his incredible pace, forward pressure. George doesn't necessarily have that one-punch knockout power. He has those accumulation KOs. Obviously, he had that knee, that knee with Ben Askren. But
he's got that switch kick, or that kick, but that switch stance punch he throws that's got power. That's how he knocked out Till.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's a very, very good striker. But I don't think he hits harder than Usman does.
And other people say, and I don't know if I got trash in the comments, but I mentioned I mentioned that other UFC fighters have called Jorge the best boxer in UFC. I don't think he is, but other UFC fighters have said that about Jorge, that he's the best boxer in UFC. So,
yeah, I think I think Kobe wins. I think the whole world is rooting for George Masvidal. I don't know how many people are actually rooting for Kobe. His whole thing was a shtick, and if you go watch Brendan Schaub's got that Food Truck Diaries thing. Kobe was on that, and Kobe was normal, not in his shtick. And he talked about how his shtick is like ruining his life, how family members won't talk to him anymore because of that. And he's like, I'm still the same person. Like, that's just an act. The problem is, it's not just an act anymore. When you start saying the personal things that he said, like being like, George, you're a journeyman, you're a bum. Okay, who cares? No big deal, right? Hey, my bad guy. Like, I say horrible things to Jacob afterwards, and I'm like, sorry. But, like, some of the things he says are just way too personal. He was calling him, like, a bad father. You don't support your kids. You're a it's like, okay, you're pushing.
Yeah, and now he's calling out people that don't even have anything to do with it. He's calling out Mike Brown now because he's calling out Dustin Poirier, saying that Dustin Poirier's, they should have, like, a paternity test for their daughter and stuff. It's crazy, the stuff he's saying now.
It is crazy. And what else is crazy is Bipolar Punt sent 10 more Canadian dollars. Owner of American Top Team said George is the alpha and the leader of the team. I wonder how this will play in Kobe's head. Many factors in this fight. And that's a really good point because George Masvidal was definitely the big brother to Kobe Covington at that ship. 100%. Everybody says it. Kobe lived with George. George taught Kobe how to fight. Like, he was the big brother in that dynamic. I don't know if it matters, though. I don't know if it matters. I'll be rooting for George. I think you will too, right?
Yeah, I decided that. I was just, when you were on that phone call, I was talking about how I like Colby. I did like him all around, but now I did like him as a fighter, right? I like his tenacity, I like his wrestling. But after that press conference, man, it's like, Jesus Christ, like, give it a break, man. Like, it wasn't funny, it wasn't clever, it was just mean. Like, you're just being mean just to be mean at this point. And the funny part is that Jorge had a great point about is Colby said he's not getting pay-per-view points for this fight when Jorge is. So Jorge's like, fine. He kept saying, sell the fight, Colby. Like, you're talking all this trash. All you're doing is selling the fight that you're not making money off of. You're making me money. So he kept saying, go ahead, Colby, sell it. Colby's like, oh, you're da. He would go and just sell the fight, just playing that puppet role. So, I mean, Jorge played it off perfectly, but I don't know if you want me to go into my breakdown if you're done.
No. What I need the live chat to do is say we have one fight left for our full card parlay. This is the last one. Who are we going to add? Let me recap who we have. Let us know in the live chat if you like Kobe or George to win this fight. We will add it to the parlay. If
I have something else on Colby too.
The members of this channel will get picked. What'd you say?
I have something else on Colby before we get to the votes.
You say
too,
that. Let me recap this, and then you say that as their. So we've got Dustin Jacoby, Tagir Ulanbekov, Umar Nurmagomedov, Nick Negumereanu, Marina Rodriguez, Jalen Turner, Sergey Spivak, Kevin Holland, Bryce Mitchell, Rafael Dos Anjos, and whoever you guys think wins the main event. Vote now. We'll add it to the parlay. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, so this will be interesting. I think Colby's definitely probably the play because of his wrestling, but he kind of made a little comment about Jorge striking to where he basically said Jorge has success with kind of like that switch stance shot and stuff when he catches people with his hands down. And Colby admitted himself, I used to fight with my hands down. And he kind of made a comment now to where he said, my coaches cleaned up my technique. I always have my hands up now, so Jorge's striking won't be an issue. Colby could very easily, I know that the game plan is to just come out and out wrestle Jorge and he should win the fight that way. But Colby, if anyone is going to like try to be like the proud guy and show like I can win no matter what, it's going to be Colby going to come into this fight trying to outstrike George, right? He wants to show that he can beat Jorge any way he wants to beat him. Maybe he comes in and just wrestle and try to dominate that way, but I would not be surprised if Jorge comes in, or I mean, if Colby comes in and is like, all right, let me just try to outstrike this guy. I can outstrike this guy. Like, I just put my hands up. It's no big deal. And that first time that he gets stung, things would get very, very interesting. So Colby is definitely the play, but if he tries to strike with Jorge, I mean, that's not going to be a good situation for him, to be honest. So we'll see what happens. It
will be interesting. So this is where we are, guys, with our full card parlay. I built it in BetUS. I'm about to submit it and lock it in and send you guys the receipt. $20 is going to win us $1,500, and that's getting divided up against the members of the channel. We have like 52 members or something like that, so this is a solid payout for a lot of people. All you have to do is click the join button under this video. I added Kobe was the pick here. So I added Kobe to the full card parlay. We have 11 fights, $1,500 of the payout.
And let me say something too, because everyone wants to play the game of, well, oh, Kobe did better against Usman than Jorge did. The difference in that fight is Jorge has to actively worry about the takedowns. He's always worried about the takedowns because that's how Usman is going to beat a guy like Jorge. So he's worried about the takedowns. Usman came with that wild shot and ended up knocking him out. Obviously, he didn't finish him in the first round. Where Colby, he doesn't have to worry about Usman's takedowns. He's good enough to, even if Usman was never going to shoot a takedown, but even if he was, Colby doesn't have to worry about it. He knows what to do in those situations. So it's a little bit of, yeah, there's some MMA math there, but it's just a completely different fight when Colby's fighting Usman rather than when Jorge's fighting Usman.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this fight. Guys, I've got the full card parlay locked in. It is $20 to win $1,500. Become a member in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to screenshot all our members in the next 10 minutes. So if this hits, that's who gets paid out. If you become a member after it gets paid out, sorry, you got to wait for the next one. So click the join button under this video. To qualify, we're throwing $20 at a full card parlay. 100% of the money goes to you guys. EO 2022, you and I have a bet. If you don't pay your bets, eat it, and you will be kicked off. Jacob boy, any last words for the live chat?
I'm excited. They did a great job of promoting this fight. I am very excited. I can't believe that here in just a few hours, honestly, that one of these guys is going to beat the other one. Because it's going to be, no matter what happens, if Colby wins, it's going to be crazy. If Jorge wins, it's going to be insane. So I hope that it's not a weird decision. That's the worst thing that could happen in this situation, if there's like a weird decision where people don't agree with. I hope somebody finishes somebody, and it's going to be crazy. And I'll be rooting for Jorge, honestly.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Nobody wants some sketchy outcome that we could argue. It should be nice and clear.
Or like an injury or like an eye poke. Like just, I wish I wouldn't have even said that, but.
Yeah. Well, guys, parting words. One, join our free Discord. It literally costs nothing. We do here costs money. So join our free Discord. You guys have been awesome in the live chat. Go there, argue with each other there. And two, we're giving away $50 to every single person who goes to wewantpicks.com/bets. Duffman, good luck. I hope I get to pay you. I will pay you guys literally tonight if this hits. I hope I get to pay you. So welcome, Duffman, and I'm looking forward to paying you. If not this week, hopefully next week. Go to wewantpicks.com/bets. We have 5 different online betting partners. My 2 favorite are Bet Online and BetUS. Those are my 2 favorite. Go into any one of the 5, make a deposit, then come back to my website. Let me know that you did. We have a whole form.
Threw them off.
Threw them off. We have a whole form just literally dedicated to paying you $50. So go to wewantpicks.com/bets. Jump into any one of our 5 partners, make a deposit, let us know after you do, and I send you $50. It's literally that simple, and it's cut and dry. The only reason I'm paying you is to encourage you to sign up and make a deposit. It's that simple. There's no trickery here. By getting you guys to sign up, the betting partners love us a little bit more, and I'm just buying love. It's that simple. wewantpicks.com/bet.
You can buy love. Hold on. You can buy love. Whoa, wait a second. I didn't know you could buy love. Wait just a second here. Can you explain that in details a little bit?
Dog, right?
Yeah,
anyway.
Buying some love, huh?
Thank you all
Google,
very much.
How do you buy love?
Claim your free money at wewantpicks.com. I look forward to seeing all of you in the live chat this week. Looking forward to it. Join the free Discord. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll have my quick picks up for next week's card.